Hello and welcome to Quest Complete. I'm your lovely host, Deluge. Today I'm joined by Lazek himself, the amazing, the fabulous, the wonderful, the Polish. Go ahead and
Thank
introduce
you
yourself.
very much.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, I'm Lazek. Everyone calls me Lazy. Uh, I've been playing Monster Hunter since 2020, so not that long.
Oh, so you're fifth
Started
leader
with
then.
I started with World,
Oh, hell yeah.
then Iceborne, then Rise. I played some Geo, but not that much.
Thoughts and feelings on
About
GU,
it.
just real quick.
Um, I like that it's just much more simple. No clutch glow, no wire bugs. It's just you versus the monster. Not weird interruptions.
Totally fair.
Yeah, I like that.
No, like, GU is probably the best example of classic Monster Hunter.
And it has a ton of content.
That is true. There's so many freaking quests in that game.
It
It's
does
insane.
have every monster,
Not
probably.
not every monster, but it's like 90% of Monster Hunter is in that game. Like the
Yeah.
10% you don't see are typically like the weird quests or the monsters that were just like that weren't good. Or there's actually some really good monsters that just don't get in there because they're from 3U and so they're water based.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. And it's like people either love it or hate it.
Oh, GU? Oh, for sure.
No, you the underwater
Oh, 3U?
fight.
I went back and I played 3U not too long ago. I was just like, this is awesome. This is probably like underwater greatsword, underwater hammer, underwater switch axe, underwater lance. Surprisingly, all super fun.
Mm,
Anyway, where were we? We're on 3U
underwater
underwater.
fight. Yeah, so I was gonna ask if like you've got a different moveset underwater.
Actually, yeah. Probably best example is that greatsword. You do a full circle every time you do a charge slash. So it's
Hmm.
like it's a 180. It's a 180 hitbox. So you can be like facing the opposite direction of the monster and still hit it with your charge slash.
I get it, okay.
And
But it's not
hammer.
not that complicated, probably
It's
like
not. It's not a
compared to
huge difference.
base moveset.
Like I feel like they throw you a lot of graces underwater. Like they make. I think in a lot of cases the moveset's actually better underwater, just because you're
Mm-hmm.
moving in three directions. So they're just like, well, we'll throw the hunter a bone. We'll let him have like a little bit of extra phantom range, or we'll let this move him forward a lot more.
Okay, so we were supposed to talk about Rise, so sorry for that.
Oh, no worries. No
As I
worries.
started talking about Geo. Okay, so in terms of general balance, like every weapon, from a casual standpoint, I think you're not gonna notice that much difference between weapons. If you're like a player, let's say you play twice, 3 times a week just for an hour, you're not gonna notice that longsword is much better than, I don't know, insect glaive, for example. You just play the game for an hour to get some items, and you're not min-maxing, don't care about frames or any of that stuff. So in that regard, I think Monster Hunter, like, for a long time has been a pretty balanced game. I mean, it's PvE, it's not PvP, so you don't have to have that much balance, I guess. Would you agree with that?
Um, I would say yes and no. Um, you've never played 4 Ultimate, but there were two weapons that were introduced
Yeah,
in
I
4
did.
Ultimate, which one of them was the Charge Blade, which was kind of
Mm-hmm.
incredibly overpowered. So it was the new kid on the block, and it has a tendency to kind of be the norm for Monster Hunter when they introduce something new. It tends to be a little bit overpowered.
I've
Like,
heard about the legendary
yeah.
charge blade, yeah.
I shit you not. This G ranker comes into my high rank lobby. He hits the monster with one SAED, quest complete. Didn't even blink. Quest complete. I'm just like, what the hell? And he missed with half his files too. that was only 3 files and an axe hit. Killed the monster. God damn. But also
Maybe
insect
if it
glaive.
was any other weapon, I would be mad, but I'm kinda biased.
To be fair, I just wanted the quest to be over, so I don't really care. That was kind of the fun back in the day when you're playing, like, you're just doing randoms with lobbies, or lobbies with randoms, and, like, a G ranker will just jump in and be like, hey guys, how you doing? I'd be like, oh, thank God, it'll only take us 10 seconds to kill this Kezu. You know?
Yeah.
But also Insect Glaive was introduced in 4 Ultimate, and that was also extremely overpowered. Like, it was really fast, it had a lot of mobility, like, people say that, like, in 4 Ultimate, since they added verticality, monsters don't really account for it. But, the hitboxes for certain attacks on monsters were just absolutely miss Insect Glaive. Like, for Tigrex, for example, like, his spins, you could just jump over his spins and it wouldn't hit you.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I think you can still do that in, like, World.
yes and no. It depends.
But not versus Fatalis, for example. His hitbox extends to, I don't know, Stratosphere.
That is also true. I don't know. I feel like they reined it in with World, because World was 5th gen, so from 4 to 3. Although they had a lot of really cool design changes in GU for Insect Glaive. But that's not here nor there.
So would you say, like, from a casual standpoint, is it a well-balanced game?
In my opinion, yeah. Like, mainly in the sense that every weapon fits into its own little niche category and does, like, something unique that the other 14 don't do.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's a weapon that you can just write off. Every weapon has its characteristics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they didn't add any weapons in the next games, honestly.
Well, to be fair, they haven't added a weapon since GU. And even then, it's not a weapon. That was a completely different way to play the game.
So that's like 7 years? 8 years?
Yes.
Damn. And 3 games.
Pretty much, yeah.
They've been slacking off.
I don't know about that. I feel like they're just comfortable the way the roster is right now. Like,
I mean, I can say they've been slacking off with GU because they introduced the styles and all that stuff.
true.
What was I gonna ask?
We talk about the each weapon type fitting into a category. In my opinion, yeah, they all do fit those particular niches, but there are certain ones that excel better than other ones in certain areas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, say the monster's really tall, but you're not gonna get uptime on that one bit. You got a hit that's all the way, 10 stories in the air with dual blades. You're gonna want something with some reach, like, I don't know, switch axe or charge blade, something with good upwards hitty hits.
Okay, maybe we're just gonna go over each weapon.
Sure.
Which order would you wanna do this in?
Any order you prefer, to be honest with you.
I would leave longsword for last.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me.
Okay, so maybe we can start with weapons in Rise that we think are well balanced. I think we should start with that.
Alright.
And we're gonna end with the worst ones, the worst offenders.
Oh boy, okay. Probably my top for, like, most balanced would probably be Greatsword. Like, it's got really good damage. It's slow, but it hits really hard, and I don't know. You have a lot more mobility now with it too, which is really nice.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's not just the take a hit, sheath your weapon, reposition, hit the monster, sheath your weapon. It's not that anymore. It's more like you can actually weave yourself in and out of the monster and then find the right opportunity to, like, tackle and then go straight into a charge level 2, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think Greatsword is the probably the easiest weapon to balance, because it's just so simple.
True.
You hit hard, you have to shift because you can't walk with this weapon out, no one does that. But yeah, they've added some great mobility tools in Rise, and I think it's for the better, because in World it was like you fought Rajang, for example, all you did was run Velkana's set bonus with what was it called?
Frostcraft?
Frostcraft, yeah. You charge your triangle attack, then you shift and wait for another opportunity. That's basically what Greatsword boiled down to in the previous game. But in this game you can do much more, especially with what's the wireback move called that you can tank the hit? Rage Slash? Rage Slash.
Rage Slash, but there's also Adamant Charge Slash.
So Adamant was...
That's the wire bug attack where you move yourself forwards and you get hyper armor through your level 2 charge slash, I believe.
Yeah, and you get earplugs too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so every weapon seemed to have some kind of earplug mechanic now.
I agree with that.
I think.
Every weapon like either has a counter, a hyper armor move, or it's got a really good repositioning tool, and some have all three, which is fantastic.
And we're gonna go over like if all weapons lose their characteristic at some point if they have too much. You know what I'm saying, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
like
you're talking about like the core.
Sword and Shield, the Metsu, Shoryugeki doing a one-hit KO basically.
Which is, well, it's satisfying as hell, I'm not gonna lie.
That's kinda, the Hammer guys are jealous, I guess.
Right, well, if they didn't have it bad enough already, being flinched to hell and shit during multiplayer.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I can't say anything bad about the Greatsword. It's only been buffed, I guess. More mobility.
Yep.
That's about it.
Oh, I really like it. Like, what's that challenge sheath or whatever it's called? That wire bug attack where you move yourself forwards, you get a little bit of invincibility, and then you also get a buff as well to your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And it sheaths it as well, which plays like right into the core gameplay of that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
So you don't have to use the normal sheath.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then there's like that little buff, so there's actually incentive to use it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I can't say. Let me pull out my Greatsword in the game.
Oh, go for it. Yes, I feel like with GU they kind of messed up because they made 2 Hunter arts better than all the other Hunter arts, and so a lot of styles you can only run 1 Hunter art. So a lot of times people would either use Absolute Readiness or Absolute Evasion, which are just giant freaking, like, you're completely invincible throughout the entire animation attack. And one of them sheathed your weapon, the other one left your weapon drawed, but it gave you back 20 units of sharpness. So it's just like, those were ridiculously good. So I feel like with like Greatsword and like a lot of other weapons, like Switch Axe, like, they have that mobility where you get a little bit of invincibility, but it moves you forwards. But it also gives you like an incentive, like, with the Switch Axe, you get back your switch gauge, or with Greatsword you get the little buff to your weapon. So it's like, I feel like they realized they kind of fucked up in GU, and they're just like, okay, so how do we make this thing like so people actually use it?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I was gonna ask, isn't Rage Slash from GU? It wasn't in the weapon art?
That is true, yes. That was a Hunter art, and it was called Brimstone Slash. So basically, you were pretty much invincible.
Saying weapon art because Dark Souls, don't mind me.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna split hairs. But yeah, essentially you were invincible through that attack. You'd still take damage, but I believe it was times 10 multiplier, and then you also gained like an additional 20% if you took damage when you were attacking with it. So It was basically the one-hit kill attack for Greatsword.
Times 10 is a lot. I am looking through the switch skills now for the greatsword,
Yes.
and I see that you can use tackle or the guard tackle, and I don't think anyone ever uses the guard tackle. I don't even remember how it looks.
I really, be honest with you, like, tackle is good. Guard tackle has its place, but like it's strange because it takes the place of the tackle, so you can be charging up like your level 1 or level 2, and then you go straight to a guard. So like, basically, with that, I feel like you have to run a completely different greatsword setup, like maybe stacking like some offensive guard or some just guard in general, or maybe guard up. Like,
Yeah,
I guess like as opposed to tanking, you actually want to just block something.
I would say, to begin with, greatsword isn't used to block. I don't think it's a last resort.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't think it's a necessary addition for this weapon. You would have to run a like purple sharpness, because I think blocking with greatsword takes two units of sharpness for each block. I think it was calculated like that. So I wouldn't say it's a great addition, because everyone uses just the regular tackle.
True. Oh, that's hard to beat. To be perfectly honest with you, it's a really good option.
It KOs, it has earplugs and hyper armor. Okay, the second switch skill is True Charge Slash or Rage Slash. So nothing new really from previous games, both moves.
True.
What I don't like about the TCS is they removed the blur effect. You know what I'm talking about?
The
last
additional
hit.
damage multiplier?
No. For example, in World, the last hit, the third one, the most impactful one, if you land it, there's a blur around you. So it feels like your hit is so powerful that air is blurred. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I actually don't, but I play with a screen shake off, so that might mess with that.
Maybe, but if you look at any gameplay in World or Iceborne, if you see that TCS landing the last hit, it like you feel the impact by just looking at it. They removed that in Rise. I do not like it.
It's an aesthetic thing. It doesn't feel like it has quite the same impact.
You just kind of land it, and that's it. You see the number and you're happy.
Yeah, look at me, I'm cartwheeling.
Okay, we talked about Adamant Charge Slash, but there's also Hunting Edge. ZL and X. What is this? Do you even remember this?
It's actually the one I use on Greatsword all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I mainly like it because like draws back to like aerial style back in GU, where you basically hit the first slash and then you go right into like either charge 2 or charge 3. So it's like an insect glaive type vault. So you go up with your first slash and then you come down with your second slash.
I see it
fun.
now. I mean, I'm biased because I don't really like aiming moves.
True.
Because I'm playing on Switch Lite.
Ah, that would do it.
Yeah. But I don't mind it. It's just kinda there. If you want to use it.
I mean, that's kind of the whole thing with Switch skills. Is like you can use the default ones, or you could like mix and match, or you can run all the level 2 skills.
Yeah. Man, I forgot every input on Switch. Totally different than PlayStation.
Yeah, it doesn't help that they mess around with the triggers and stuff. So like, whenever I play Insect Glaive, I'm always accidentally doing wire bug stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that Nintendo decided to put A to confirm. Like it would be circle on PlayStation. It's weird.
Aren't those buttons in the same place?
I mean, A is where circle is on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So on PlayStation, circle is maybe not exclusively, but most of the time you cancel with circle. The cross button is to confirm, right?
I might be playing with different inputs because, like, typically
Oh,
when
maybe,
I'm like
maybe,
gathering
maybe.
and stuff, it's like I press A to like, or I press circle to pick stuff up.
I didn't even know you could change that.
I might just be remembering wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just circle to confirm actions.
It's been too long. It's been too long. I think we've finished with Greatsword. I don't have anything to add.
I really don't have anything to add either. Like, Adamant Charge Slash is fantastic. True Charge is fun. I do prefer Rage Slash though, just because it's easier to aim.
Yeah,
Other than
you
that,
can turn around.
yeah, no, I love that. It's a little bit less damage, but if I'm hitting more consistently, then that's damage I wouldn't have gotten anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so what's up next?
I would pick for another greatly balanced weapon, Switch X.
Oh, alright.
And I'm gonna try to tell you why. Basically, I think it was strictly buffed.
Oh, absolutely.
You have great versatility with your builds now. So basically, you have, I think, you have files like usually with Switch X, but you pretty much have for each file, like for every element, for every status effect, you have a pretty viable weapon. And I mean like really viable. I'm not gonna talk about meta stuff and that kind of stuff, but I don't think any other weapon has that kind of versatility now. Maybe bow, maybe.
Maybe. But
Maybe.
Bow's always strongest with running like opposing element, so whatever the monster's
Yeah.
weak to.
So I was kind of surprised that they decided to treat Switch X that way. It really was buffed a lot.
I'd say
And you can
really the
see
only
that-
nerf it actually got was to how fast the power file charges into amp state,
Yeah, it's pretty slow now.
which is actually totally fair because it charged way too fast in World, like ridiculously
Yeah,
fast.
and now you have so many weapons to choose from, so you can't really complain.
I'm not, like, to be perfectly honest with you, like, my favorite file type for Switch X and Rise is exhaust file. It
Yeah,
charges
mine
fast,
too.
and you get exactly, and like, it makes the monster sleepy or it makes the monster
Yeah.
tired, and you can KO with it, and like,
And if you have like 4 players running it, oh man.
oh, it's ridiculous. Like, they don't even need like a lick of stamina feed. It's just like, boom. Monsters
I love
barfing up
it.
that green stuff all day.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about Switch X, I don't think. And you can look at the popularity chart, and I think it's in the top 5 now.
Is it?
It was,
Hell
yeah. I think it was like 9th or 10th in the previous game.
Yeah, last I checked, it was
So-
hovering around 8, but that was like half a year ago, so.
Yeah. The switch skills. Forward overhead slash.
Now this
Okay,
one's
what-
actually very interesting. Personally, I prefer the forward slash just because I've played Switch X for so long that like using anything else is just doesn't jive with my mind. But I can see like if you love the axe mode more than sword mode, or if that's just your preferred mode, like having the overhead chop be like your opener rather than the poke is so much more
Mhm.
potent. Like, a lot of times people are like, how do you use this thing? What's the point of it? It doesn't combo into anything. It's just like, it's not supposed to combo into anything. It's supposed to be like a really strong opener for axe mode, and that's what it is.
And I'm pretty sure the X mode is better now too.
It is actually like not just comboing into from sword mode, because if you do double slash, sword mode double slash and transform to axe, you get that axe double hit, which does ridiculous amounts of damage. But just like axe mode in general feels really good because in world they changed the your neutral triangle attack in axe mode. They changed that to side slash, which was typically that was on the other attack button in previous games. But in Rise, they made it the overhead chop. That's your neutral, which is fantastic because that means you go straight into double sword attack.
Someone is screaming out my window. Sorry.
That's okay. Discord's got fantastic like what do you call it? Noise cancellation.
No, so you don't hear this
Nope.
moron. Okay. I'm pretty sure they are drunk.
Well, 9 o'clock at night. I mean, who wouldn't be drunk?
I mean, it's only 9 p.m.
It's only 9 p.m.
Yeah,
Another
but
2 hours
this
before drinking
neighborhood,
starts.
my neighborhood is sketchy.
Mine is 2. I have stories, but not right now.
Yeah, it would take too long, trust me.
Oh yeah. So switch axe. What are we up to now?
Finishing discharge, so that's the old reliable finisher
Oh yeah.
from the ZSD. But you have also the compressed version.
Now compressed.
So that one is faster, right? But it does less damage.
It does, yes. The thing is about it though is that it also has hyper armor on it, which the other one does have, but only if you're amped and latched on. But the thing I love about compressed finishing discharge is that you can combo it with the with switch charger. So basically, you blow your load, you get halfway to amp state, then you can just switch charge, and then you go right back into like wailing on the monster with like a sword mode. And then basically you're in amp state, so then your axe is buffed and your sword is buffed, and you just keep going. So it works out really good on, I think, power file, because it'll charge you halfway if you land both hits.
Yep. I don't have a lot to say about Switch Axe because I didn't really play it. I think you played a lot of this weapon.
I'm at
compared to me, at least.
277. Charge blade's like hovering around 249 from here.
Damn, you didn't stop playing, did you?
No, I never did.
I did, and it shows. And the last two are Soaring Wyvern Blade. So that's the similar to what was the Greatsword one when you jump up. That's pretty much the same.
Essentially, yeah. Like, I thought it'd be like a latching, like, discharge or something like that, but, I played around with it for a while, and it's really fun, but, I think I still prefer having, what's it called?
Invincible Gambit?
That's it. I still prefer Invincible Gambit, just because it's a hyper armor move, you get earplugs,
Okay,
and it
so
moves
it's
you forwards.
basically the hunting horn, whatever it's called. It's exactly the same move, but with a different weapon.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
But the Soaring Wyvern Blade's actually very interesting because if you were actually out of switch gauge, when you do the second hit, you actually just come down with like an axe combo instead.
Yeah, I just did that, and I can't really extend the combo without the amped state.
Essentially, yeah, because if you're also in amp state, you also leave that little burst of energy on the monster that explodes.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about it.
Which is it's good for power file, but it's also really good for status and element file. Because I believe that little tick is either pure status damage or pure element damage. If you land that on the right part of the monster, that's gonna be a lot of damage.
Yeah, but in general, I'm happy what they did with Switch Axe. You really have options with this weapon now, not like in World that you just ran Fatalis and that's it.
Right? Well, I'm still using Gold Radiant. I don't think I ever went to Fatalis. Like, the Gold Radiant Switch Axe is still really good.
You did it.
Oh no. There's actually very few Fatalis weapons I use over other weapons. I'm still using a lot of Nergi or Runer Nergi weapons too.
Hmm. I'm all about that Fatalis weapons.
No, they're
Too
really
good.
good. They're really good. Well, it's the final boss of the game. They have to be like the best thing ever. Like the 2 4 slots, crazy high damage, good purple, good white. Like they have some negative affinity, but like you could stack so many skills in that game, it doesn't matter.
When I first saw what his weapons were and his armor set, I didn't think I would solo him, because it was too good. So it was even more pressure for me. You know,
Right?
like armor this good, and I'm like at the back of my head, I was thinking, man, I have to kill him for this, and I couldn't.
Yeah, no, he's really hard solo. Like, I've never soloed him without having to use like the smoke bomb ghillie strats. If I don't open up with that, I'm not gonna get the run.
I think I soloed him 4 times only, but I didn't find it fun. It was I find it the most fun with 2 people.
Oh, absolutely. Like it feels like a chore solo. Like Electron's fun solo, but like
Yeah,
Fatalis feels like a chore. Like the final boss at GU, like I could run that solo like endlessly. Like it's just so much fun, and it only takes like 20 minutes if you do it solo. So it's just like
only.
yeah. Well, it's G rank and older
I mean,
Monster Hunter,
yeah.
so it's scaled for multiplayer no matter what you do. So
Yeah. Anything to add about Switch X?
it's really good and I like it a lot. Like it's super good. Like I love that you no longer have to do an action before you do a switch attack. You just hold forward on the analog and use the switch button, and boom.
Yeah.
That was the one
mean-
thing I didn't like in Worlds. I was always rolling to like engage like sword mode or get back into axe mode.
That's the thing with well-balanced weapons. You don't really have to talk about them that much, because you just know they're good and everyone knows it. You don't have to say it out loud.
It's super true. Like, I mean, that being said, though, I could talk about like switch axe and great sword, sword shield for like endlessly because I just love those weapons so much.
Oh, we can talk about SNS now.
Oh, all right.
And I think you have to talk about it because I didn't play it at all.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, that's totally fair. Like,
But from what I've heard, it's well balanced. You can't spam. What is it called? Perfect Rush? Yeah. You
Yes.
can't spam it. It was nerfed.
It
But
was.
you've got
No,
so
thankfully
many
not the
combos
damage.
to do now.
Thankfully not the damage, but like the range of the attack. Like I noticed I have to basically be up in the monster's shit, or like I'm not gonna get that last hit.
Yeah.
'Cause I noticed in Iceborne, you can be standing like good 2 or 3 feet away from the monster, and you still get all the hits, except for maybe the
Yeah.
shield ones. But like even then, it's like the only thing you care about that final hit, because that's the one that does all the damage.
Yeah, you latch on and knock the monster back usually.
Oh yeah.
And you have so many extensions to your combos now.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
you can jump up now from like 5 different attacks.
Oh, I love that. That's super fun. Because you no
Yeah,
longer have to camp ledges. Like, that was the thing
Yep.
The only thing I didn't like about Sword, Shield, and 4 Ultimate is like, sure, you can mount going up or down the ledge, but that means you have to camp the ledge, and that's also extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
So, Sword, Shield, and Rise is actually really stacked. Like, there's like a few minor changes. Like, you don't get the spin slash anymore. It's
Mhm.
the full windmill slash. So you have to do the double attack button input and change direction. But like, you can actually combo that twice. And if you do that twice, you actually get a way higher motion value on that second hit. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I'll get like, as opposed to like getting like 85 damage, like if I turn around and slash, I'll get like 200, 240, something like that. So it's actually
Mhm.
pretty ridiculous. Like, let's see these switch skills. Well, there's the default one, which is just fun. It's just you throw out a wire bug and you get to jump with your weapon out. That's just fun.
Yeah, I know this one. Yeah.
I personally I really love windmill. Like, what is those round slash in GU, where it's basically a get out of jail free card. You just spin in a circle and the monster can't hit you, but you send your teammates flying for some reason. Not. So I never used that in multiplayer, but
I never seen this move.
windmill is actually super fun. It costs 2 wire bugs, but basically you slap the monster a whole bunch with your sword, and you're invincible through most of it, and you get earplugs as well.
Yeah, I see what it does, but I'm saying that I didn't see anyone use it.
Oh, that's because
For some
Metsu
reason.
Yugeki's the switch skill for that attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That explains everything.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I love Metsushiro Yugeki, but, like, I'm not super counter-based when I play. Like, I prefer to, like, have a get-out-of-jail free card than, a timed counter, you know?
I'm the opposite.
I can tell.
I mean, I main charge blade basically, so.
I also used to main charge blade.
But no, so you know where I'm coming from.
Oh, absolutely. Like, in World, I was, like, big brain, super calculated, like, everything has to be optimal. And then now all I do is play switch axe because I like attacking the monster.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, hey,
Oh
man.
my.
We're doing a podcast. You want to talk
Hi,
about weapon
Lazy.
balance and rise?
Yo.
So that's what's going on.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not that informed on the weapon balancing. I only know hunting horn.
I mean, you
Um,
don't have to be.
That's true.
I like hunting horn. That's my statement. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave you guys at it. Nice seeing you, Lazik.
You too.
All right. See you guys.
See you, Matt.
Bye.
See ya.
Alright, so sword shield.
Mhm.
Uh,
I think what's left is advancing slash versus sliding slash.
and both of those are great options. Personally, I love sliding slash because that's basically just like you get to do aerial style for free all the time. So it's just like up, down, cool, here, there, everywhere. Monster like doesn't know what's going on. Advancing slash is also really cool,
is the default shift attack, right?
though. It is. It is.
Yeah, so I know this. Sliding slash. What properties does it have?
Sliding slash or advancing slash?
Sliding slash.
Basically, you slide along the ground, but if you hit the monster before you end your slide, you bolt up into the air, and so you can come down with a sword attack or a shield bash.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
It's super fun.
I can. Yeah, I see that. I see that now.
Or you can do a preemptive slide, and I think you hit the A button. It's the heavy attack button before you end your slide, and it'll just immediately volt.
Let me check. So sliding slash. Wait, you mean mid-air?
No, not mid-air. Like, you basically do the input, the slide, but don't hit. If you
Mhm.
don't hit anything, you can hit the A button, and you'll immediately volt.
Okay, let me check. Oh yeah, jumping rising slash.
Yeah. So that's also a really good option because you could be like
So
pretty
basically
far
you
away
can
from
jump-
the monster. You just
you
basically
can
just-
jump.
Exactly, it's a free jump.
I mean, you can't mount, but I mean, I think you can jump over some attacks. I'm pretty sure.
Potentially, I've never tried it out.
Maybe for style points.
Oh, absolutely.
What I like also about Sword and Shield is the same thing with Switch Axe, that you have so much versatility. So I think it's even better with Sword and Shield because for raw Sword and Shields you have like certain combos you use for most damage,
Oh yeah.
but for elemental ones, for elemental swords, you do completely different combos, and I like it.
Right. Well, I
'Cause
also love that they
elemental
added
is
the-
all about volume, not the power of the hits.
Exactly. It was also great for status sword shields too. Cause what is it? They added the drill slash combo, which is basically like it's a pretty long combo, or it's a high commitment combo. I don't think it's particularly long, but it's basically 2 hits. But that second hit does like 3 different ticks of damage. So that's fantastic for like status or element. You wail on the right part of the monster. I think that gets rid of the hard bash combo.
Maybe not about the balance, but you remember that what is it? High tech SNS is it called? With like 1,000,000 units of white sharpness or green, I don't remember.
Which one is that?
Wait, let me. How do I? Wait. Let me go to the blacksmith. Then the loading time. Man, I don't remember the inputs. Where is it? I swear it was like 100 units of green or something.
Oh, you're talking about the samurai blade?
Maybe.
The one with 100% affinity and like 1,000,000 units?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's ridiculous.
Kinda jealous that they didn't add this kind of weapon for every weapon.
I feel like Sword Shield's the only one that could get away with it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Maybe.
Because if they made a longsword like that, it'd be like, oh god, oh dear god. And if they made a gun lance like that, then it'd be like nobody cared. They'd still run the other gun lances.
Well,
It'd probably have
it's
shit
called-
shelling.
It's called High Ninja Sword.
The ninja sword.
100% affinity. I think it was 70 hits of green. And it also has 3 level 1 slots. Pretty
Really
good,
strong.
I would say.
Really strong, yeah. With Bludgeoner, it does pretty good damage.
Oh yeah, because Bludgeoner works with green.
Nope.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's probably the comfiest weapon in the game.
Oh, hands down. Like that with like the Akuma costume, like boom.
You don't
set.
have to run Master's Touch or anything.
Nope.
Anything else?
For Sword and Shield,
Mm-hmm.
nope, super solid. I love it. You can run it element, you can run it raw, you can go status. Super versatile. It's got probably some of the more interesting switch skills in the game, though some are less incentivized than others, but it's probably got the best variety, like in terms of just like gameplay style.
Yeah. So those were the 3 weapons I think that are that represent the best balancing in Rise. So now we go into the like mediocre tier territory,
Alright.
in my opinion at least.
Of course. Well, this is an opinion piece, though.
And I would say on the edge of well balanced and this mediocre, I would put Hammer. Just for the fact that you have to do the crater so often, and so often you miss one of those 2 hits. And I think they focus too much on this move. And I think it killed the weapon a little. What do you think?
To be perfectly honest with you, all I ever do with Hammer is spam the spinny attack.
Oh yeah.
I love that so much. Like everybody's like, oh, you only get like 2 hits. I'm just like, yeah, but the 2 hits I get do a lot of damage.
Still does a lot of damage.
No, seriously. To be fair though, I'll still Big Bang over Impact Critter because I forget that move even exists. To be perfectly honest with you.
I cannot land it properly, I swear. Like, why is it so inconsistent? I hate moves that are inconsistent.
Maybe it's a hitbox detection issue. I know most of the monsters have like, because it's not like World where every monster's like, oh, it's a flying wyvern, you know? And you've got like a handful of fang beasts. It's like There's actually a whole bunch of unique skeletons in Rise. Like you've got the Piscean, you got the Leviathan, you've got Fanged Wyvern, you've got the monkey skeleton, you got the beast skeleton. There's a whole. There's like that's just 5, and that's not even every skeleton in the game. So maybe it's just like a weird hitbox thing, because like in World they only had that one skeleton, so maybe they were able to like precision like craft these hitboxes or some bullshit.
What I don't like even more about this traitor move is the thing with this is it's divided in 2 hits, and each of these 2 hits have the same impact. So very often you hit the first hit and the monster just gets stunned and you miss the other one. That's my gripe with this move.
That depends. Do you run any slugger or anything on your hammer setups?
Nope.
That's super weird. I never run slugger on hammer. Never needed it.
Charge Blade has the same problem with SAD.
Oh, absolutely. To be fair though, like, actually no, I'm not gonna be fair. Screw that. It's just the file detection's so weird, because you can like bake a leg for like 400 or 250 damage, and then like all the files would just go off into nowhere town.
We're gonna get to Charge Blade
Soon, very soon. So hammer, impact crater. To be fair, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other on impact crater, mainly because I kind of forget it exists. Like I do it every once in a while.
I like the addition of the water strike. So you basically have iframes.
Yeah. What is it? Maximilian
Hammer
Dude
didn't.
called it the EI bonk. That's basically what it is. I love water strike.
Yeah.
It's super good.
And I think if you land it properly, you get a follow-up.
Oh, absolutely.
Water strike or side smash. That move is mediocre. But
It's okay.
It was always in every game, I think. Right?
Actually, the thing is about it is it actually had a use in 4th gen. In 4th gen, it would be your hyper armor combo. So you side blow into down bash into golf swing, and the teammates couldn't knock you around if you did that. That was your hyper armor combo.
Okay.
In World, yeah, it's absolutely useless. There's no point to it. But in this game,
not really.
Maybe there's
just
actually
one thing for timing get-up attacks. That's it.
yeah, just about. Like a lot of times it'd be a move you just do on accident, because that would be like holding forwards on the analog and using your normal attack button. Because circle was now designated as the Big Bang button. There is nothing else this button does. Is the Big Bang button. But actually, it's got a return to form in Rise, where it's your shortcut to golf swing. So you side blow, down blow, and then straight to golf swing, which is one of your higher damaging attacks.
The fastest way to golf swing, I think.
As far as I'm aware.
Pretty sure, yeah. Okay, so it has some uses.
Yeah, it had some uses, then it didn't, and now it kind of does. But water strike's better, so who cares?
Exactly. The Spinneroonie and the Dash Breaker. What even is the Dash Breaker?
That's a hyper armor attack, like the hunting horn one or the switch axe one, where it propels you forwards to get earplugs and hyper armor, and then you finish it up with a big old bonk.
Exactly the same. Okay, so I mean it's there, but I'm gonna take the spinning bludgeon anytime over it.
Right. Like I like Dash Breaker. It's got its places, like. But if I'm just like going solo against the monster, like I'd rather have the Spinneroonie. It's just so much better.
Yeah.
Or more fun.
And oh yeah, the charge switch. You have the strength mode and the courage mode. And the courage mode is, I think, literally useless. No one uses it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
As far as I'm aware, I haven't seen a whole lot of people using it. But it's Valor charging from GU, so it's like I don't know. I prefer the standard one. but it's interesting. It's I don't know. I don't really like it personally, but there are some people that do like they absolutely like mainline hardcore like Valor Hammer bullshit. So it maybe it caters to those people, maybe it doesn't. Like I'm not one of those people, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
it looks janky.
it is kind of janky. Like I do
I
really
think
like the double upswing, because there's really high KO value in that. But like I don't
Yeah.
like the follow up bonk at all. That's way too much commitment.
I don't think fits with the Monster Hunter Rise pace of the monsters. They're getting faster and faster and faster, and this just no.
Too slow.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I think the default one is way more fluid.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact you also get iframes switching from yellow to blue.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about it too.
Yeah, I
So,
was like, that's
I'm gonna
basically like
go-
crack when I figured that out. I was just like, I can go into yellow, like it be fully charged, then swap over to blue, get charged too, and also go through the monster's roar, and then bonk it right in the head. This is awesome.
Yeah. So, Hammer got 2 iframe moves.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Pretty handy. So, yeah, that's why I said it's like on defense. It's not really bad, but it's not that good either. Just because of the crater move. But that's just me.
And that's
I
also
just-
totally fair. Like,
I just
hammers-
hate inconsistency.
And that's also like, that's not unreasonable at all. Like, if you have a big, powerful attack, you should be able to hit it.
Yeah. And like didn't Capcom learn from Longsword that dividing hits into smaller ones doesn't really benefit anyone? Like as I said, you hit with the first one and the monster KOs or flinches and you completely miss the second.
To be honest with you, they're probably just like chalking it up to bad luck. But with the with the Spirit Helmbreaker, that was that glitch in World for a little while where like you'd land the first hit and then all the follow-up hits would just disappear into nowhere.
I think it still exists.
I'm pretty sure it does. Like I personally, I've only ever had that happen to me once, and I've never seen it happen ever again. So I was like, I thought it was a fucking myth. I thought people were talking out of their ass, or they were doing some sort of
Yeah,
hanky janky
it is
bullshit.
there.
But like, it happens. Just like, I don't know. I've only ever had it happen to me once, but I don't play a whole lot of longsword in World. So
Yeah, let's save the longsword talk because we're
You'll
gonna talk
see.
about it for a while, I think.
it's true. We still got like, what is it, 10, 12 other weapons to go through.
Yeah, that was our 4th one, I think.
All right.
Yeah, that's. I mean, no elemental hammers. I mean, I don't think in any other game you couldn't play elemental hammers. I mean, for
They-
Alatrion you had to.
Well, yeah. Well, they have a place, like, but it's basically like, it's still gonna have higher raw value than it has
Yeah.
elemental value. So,
Just row plus element on top.
like, well, the thing is about elements is like, back in the day before we had crits and stuff, is like, you run your attack up large, right? And that does all your damage. Then you can run the counter element, and then everything else you have on your build is just like icing on the cake. Because they weren't crits. They're not gonna get any more damage. So you might as well run the opposing elemental value. But these days we have crit boosts, so it's just like there's really not a point to running an elemental hammer unless you just want that extra, like, 2 or 3% damage on the monster.
Yeah, that's basically what Longsword has right now. But yeah, let's save Longsword.
Save that. Put that in the back pocket.
I was gonna ask you about, in general, do you think all 14 weapons should have access to viable elemental options, like Greatsword for example? I think yes.
Personally, I've always just run raw, like all the way back in like 4 Ultimate, I was still just running raw, like even my sword and shields. But to be perfectly honest with you, yeah, like if a weapon's best setup is an elemental setup, then it should have access to those options. Like, it's kind of a no-brainer.
And I think if the players goes out of their way to make a separate build, it should be better than Raw.
No, and you're absolutely right. That was a big deal in World for a while. It was like, you're better off just running Raw, because the elemental values were a joke.
And have you seen the ICE mod for Monster Hunter World Iceborne?
I've heard of it. What is that?
I mean, it's like basically a complete overhaul. Mm, I mean, it would take me half an hour to discuss this, but
Just bring up
I
the
mean-
major points. What are the major changes? Like the things I'm gonna notice like right off the bat playing this thing.
weapon balancing, for example, they merged like Gunlance doesn't have 3 types of shelling anymore. It does have 1. You can play Elemental Greatsword, for example. Monsters do not clagger anymore, so you don't have to clutch onto it to extend the animation. Motion value changes. Overall, it's like they patched out everything annoying about the game. That's basically it. And they balanced out the weapons better than Capcom ever would have.
It sounds very interesting. I'll have to give it a look.
Yeah, so like they even out the field for everyone. Like they brought back the elemental hit zone motion values for Lance from the base game,
Oh, really?
where Lance was like had a really good elemental damage. And in Iceborne they nerfed it for some reason, so they brought it back. But yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Actually, yeah, that sounds
Okay.
pretty interesting. I'll do me a little bit of research to see if
Yeah,
I
you
like
should.
it or
You
not.
should definitely pip it. It sucks that I don't have a good PC to play Monster Hunter on.
My condolences.
Thank you. So I think that's gonna be everything for Hammer.
Just about, yeah. I spoke my piece on it.
Okay, what would you say is the next weapon like in the middle of the field? Not
You want to talk about
not
Lance
the
next?
best. Yeah. Yeah. I've made. You know what? I would put Lance maybe like closer to Longsword. Both lances.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
What about dual blades then?
All I know about dual blades is they've been nerfed to shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like overall damage, and the added verticality doesn't really serve them because of the abysmal range. So you just can't land your mid-air attacks. That's basically what I know about the weapon. I don't think I even completed one hunt with dual blades.
Alright. I've used dual blades quite a bit. Like, I've always poo-pooed them, like, all the way back in 4 Ultimate. I was like, I want nothing to do with those fucking weed sticks. I came around to them in World, like, basically, like, last week of, like, World being a thing. I was like, oh, I'll try these out. I actually kind of like them a little bit. But, I picked them up in the Rise demo. I'm just like, something feels different. I actually like these. These are fun. I'm not entirely sure what they did to dual blades, but I really like them in Rise. I still don't use them a whole bunch, but, like, I acknowledge them as being an actual weapon type now, so. I never really used the Demon Flurry dance or whatever it's called, or Demon Tower dance. That's like the aerial moveset. I do love Feral Demon mode. That's actually really good. It's got a longer start animation, but you can actually attack while you demon dodge. So that's actually really good for uptime. Oh, yeah,
But
and
I've got one question about
yes.
the stamina management, because in Rise you consume a lot of stamina.
It's actually not that bad. Like,
Okay.
typically I run like 1 or 2 points of latent power, and then maybe like a point of marathon runner, and that's all I need.
Okay, but you still have to
Oh, absolutely.
like spend
Yeah.
1 or 2 skills just for this weapon.
I mean, you don't have to. Personally, that's the way I like to play it. Like, there's a reason like Dash Juice, and Mega Dash Juice exist.
Yeah, I guess. Hmm.
What is it? It's a default Wirebug skill is that dash, where it's basically the adept dash. So you iframe through something, and then you get to do like a really cool counter attack. That's actually really fun. I like that a lot.
I actually don't have any dual blades.
Oh,
Like I only have the default ones.
those will work.
Oh damn. Demon Flurry Rush. Know what? I'm not gonna. I don't even know the inputs, so I'm not gonna bother with this.
That's fair.
Mm,
I feel like dual blades is one of those weapons where you have to run elemental. Like, you can run
Yeah.
them raw, but you're gonna be doing significantly less damage, which is unfortunate because sword and shield and rides you can run raw, and it's like not a huge issue at all. But DBs, yeah, I definitely noticed that the hunts take a little bit longer. My major shout outs to like dual blades that just have good raw or good damage is like Nargacuga, of course, at 40% affinity,
Of
that chunk
course.
of white, of course. Tigrex, fucking
Of
230 AR, big chunk of white. And then Ibushi, actually. Long green, but it's got like 220, 210, something like that. Really solid weapon. Like, and you also don't have the miniature sharpness, because it's like you've got 120 units of blue. So it's just like you basically like between encounters, like maybe between 2 encounters, sharpen your weapons.
I'm gonna add one thing about dual blades, and it's that there are some charts you can see like average speedrun times, right?
Yep.
For every weapon.
Yep.
And dual blades were the 12th, just above lance and gun lance. So that's why I said the damage was nerfed to shit.
To be fair, I don't know a whole lot about dual blades, so. But the
Yeah, I
numbers
only
speak for
played it.
themselves, so.
Only played it in World and it was brain dead.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like it. I don't
I
know.
think it's the only weapon that I haven't used 100 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've got quite a few I haven't used 100 times in the world, like Hunting Horn, Dual Blades,
Damn, you didn't touch the hunting horn.
Not even once. No, I'm just kidding. Like,
Damn.
Bow. I have 5 uses on Bow. I've got 40 uses on Hunting Horn. I've got, like, 10 or 15 on Dual Blades. And then, like, everything else is in the hundreds.
I think I have a lot. Charge blade hunts and hunting horn, and the rest is like split. Apart from dual blades.
Totally fair. Like, I don't know. If there's one weapon they could remove from Monster Hunter, and I wouldn't really care, it'd probably be the Dual Blades. Just because, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, and they've never really done anything for me. Like, I've always preferred Sword and Shield. Like,
Yeah.
one person said, like, what is this? Like, yeah, Sword and Shield just feels like Dual Blades, except you're missing the other knife. I'm just like, yeah, well,
What?
Dual Blades is just Sword and Shield, except it's missing all the good parts of the weapon.
Yeah, exactly. can't block, can't stun.
Can't jump,
Yeah.
can't mount whenever you want. Like, come on.
Yeah. Anything else?
For Dual Blades, no, not really. It's got some good switch skills. It's got some kind of okay ones. The default one is actually really good for the weapon. Good for keeping uptime. Good for being a get out of jail free card. Good for just being dumb fun. The one I don't care for on Dual Blades, that one where you stick the wire into the monster.
Oh yeah. No.
I don't know. That one's just kind of okay. Like, I feel like the one for Lance is a lot better because you can actually bolt towards the monster and get damage on it. Whereas with that one, it's just like you stab it in there and like, look, I'm dealing extra damage, and then it falls off and the monster takes more
You
damage.
mean the spiral thrust?
For Dual
Or
blades?
Lance.
No, no.
Lance.
No. Lance, the default switch skill for Lance is you stick a kunai into the monster, and you've got a wire attached to you to the monster, and you can bolt towards the monster.
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah,
that one. The
yeah.
one that nobody ever uses. That I use all
Yeah.
the time because it's just. It's
I
fun.
think it was in the trailer
It was.
or something. I mean, it looks cool, but I don't know about its usage.
I like it a lot personally, but that's just me. Like, I'm sure everybody else will be like, "Oh yeah, that exists." 'Cause, general consensus is that like nobody uses it.
Okay, fair enough. That's everything for dual blades.
I think so.
What would be the next weapon? I'm looking at the insect glaive. I haven't really touched this weapon, but a lot of people say that Capcom did insect glaive dirty by adding the wire bug. But
I don't know. To be perfectly
I mean,
honest with you, like I feel like
there was
Ryzen's
already-
is probably the best it's ever been. Like I don't
Yeah.
see what all the hate for or all this dislike of like because it's actually super good. Like, all right, so everybody kind of poo-pooed the recall Kinsect because they're like, oh, you call back your Kinsect, but like, well, first of all, the Kinsect gathers a buff, and you get a guaranteed heal, and it moves you backwards, and you have invincibility while you do it. It's actually really good. That being said, though, the one you switch out for it, Diving Wyvern, is actually way better. It's like a really good attack. It deals a lot of damage. And it's also a really great combo ender, because you can be like wailing on the monster in the air, you're doing your hits, you're having fun, and then you come down, it's like boom, 350 damage. Like, whoa.
And what I like about insect glaive in Rise is you can stay in the air for a long time.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen speedruns where they'll touch the ground maybe once, twice.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you're timing your, what's its default skills where it pulls itself forwards mid-air, like, if you combo that and chain it just right, like, you could basically use that to reset your aerial combos. Like, it's super good. And the cooldown on it's medium. So that's like, what, 15, 20 seconds, something like that?
I mean, it's basically about stamina management at this point.
Essentially, yes. That, and I also love what they did with the Kinsects. There's like 4 different varieties now. So you got the classic,
yeah.
like, powder. The one that, like, okay, he's doing out powder. But then you also have ones that, like, attack with you, which is super cool. So you're doing, like, your tornado slash combo or your triple slash or whatever it's called combo, and, like, the bug will, like, attack with you and stuff. Or if you do diving wyvern, like, it'll like, do like a little spiral around you and stuff and get extra damage. Super cool. I love that a lot. I really need to play with that more. I typically just use the powder one because it's fast and it deals like it has blast damage on it. But also there's another one where it automatically gathers 2 buffs, and one of them's guaranteed to be a particular color. Typically it's red, but some of them will do like white or the brown buff. And how is it? It's the last one. I don't remember what it does. I don't think I ever use it, but I'm sure it's good.
Maybe.
Maybe. No, it's something. Yeah, no, I got nothing. But those are the insects, and they're actually really cool. Like, I really love. I don't like that you can't like craft and like level up a particular one anymore. I really like that. Like, you're like, oh, my bug's getting stronger too. But I don't know.
You
It's,
can?
no, you buy Kinsects now. They're just you buy them, and then you get more the more you buy. Yeah, no, it's super weird, but it has there's great variety. Like, you know, there's these unique new ones which are super cool, and you don't have to waste materials upgrading a bug anymore. So that's cool too.
I mean, I guess. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
But I feel like with this weapon, people just say bad things about it for the sake of saying bad things, and
Essentially.
I don't think they've played the weapon
Oh
even
no!
once.
Like, seriously, like, you ask somebody, it's like, hey, what's wrong with insect glaive? I'm like, well, you know, it's not good. I'm like, well, why is it not good? And then it's like, because they've never played it.
Yeah, and people say that it's kind of redundant for Insect Glaive to exist because of the addition of the wire bug. But remember, in GU you had the aerial style, right?
No, exactly.
And
Like,
it only complemented the weapon, in
no,
my
seriously.
opinion.
Like, aerial insect glaive is probably one of the strongest style combinations in that game. Like, it's kind of it's honestly super ridiculous. Like that, and people forget. Like, thing is about insect glaive is like, until World came around, it wasn't like a heavy aerial weapon. Like, there was aerial maneuvers and aerial combos, but like
Oh yeah.
your strongest combos and your highest damage is the stuff you do on the ground. Like, it's gonna be your tornado slash combo, or it's gonna be your round slash combo. Like, those still do ridiculous amounts of damage. Like, diving wyvern's like really strong, but only after you do like, you know, 2 or 3 aerial combos, you know?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's about it. I think misjudged, I would say, this weapon.
I would say so, yes. Mainly because people don't like bugs. It's true.
Good
Like,
one. Yeah.
if they made a Kinseg that looked like a cockroach, like, I'm sure people would be throwing their switches out the window, but like, I nothing to do with this anymore.
I mean, some of the insects in world are disgusting.
What, like pseudocat?
I have no idea what their names are, but they literally look like giant beetles.
Oh, you're talking about like Carnage Beetle and stuff like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I never used those ones because they're
It's
slow.
slow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
But they have the most attack, I think.
they do. That's the trade-off. It's like typically they're blunt, so they can KO monsters, but they're
Yeah.
slower. But they also have a lot more stamina, so you can just like shoot the bug juice on the monster's head, and you're like, all right, get him, Beetle, and I'm also get knocked down a little bit.
Yeah, and you basically spammed the diving attack or whatever. What is it called? Diving. You know what I'm talking. They
I
added
know exactly what you're talking about, but
added this in Iceborne.
yeah, and I love that too, because that was like an immediate like, get on the ground. Like, you didn't have to do like the stupid helicopter or like slowly float to the ground. It's just like,
Yeah. So you could charge your Kinsect, and it would, if you did the diving attack, it would follow up and go through the monster.
that is
That was
true.
cool.
I love that. Like, that was, I feel like that's the precursor to Rise, where like the bug like actually attacks with you.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
So like, yeah.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Alright. So, like, because that was like the only attack with Insect Glaive where like the Kinsect and you would actually be in sync. Because that's kind of like the whole
Yeah.
point to Kinsects, is that like, you know, they're an extension of the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
There's harmony with nature, and she's like your little friend.
My favorite usage of the Kinsect was in Alatrion speedruns in World, because you have to do some elemental damage, right?
Yes.
Before all the heroics runs. So basically you would spam this diving attack, and the runners wouldn't run any elemental skills apart from the Kinsect, and it would dive through the monster like constantly, and it was all the elemental damage that they would do, and they would get like one elemental topple. That was pretty cool. Like, the Kinsect did everything by himself basically.
Maybe that's something we lose in Rise, because you lose a lot of that customization. Like, you can't mess around with like its element or anything like that. 'Cause I think essentially the Kinsect just has the same element as the glaive, or the same status as the glaive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So maybe they did do Insect Glaive a little bit dirty, but just a little bit. It's not as bad as
A
people are
little.
making it out to be, for sure.
And I think you can, like, if you touch a wall midair, you can jump from it. Is that true?
I have never tried that. I know
I've
in
seen that
World
attack,
and
like, twice.
in 4 Ultimate you can like cling to walls and climb up walls
Yeah.
with your Insect Glaive out. And it doesn't even have to be a climbable wall. You can cling to any wall in
Yeah,
World.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll have to try that out. I'm really curious now.
I swear I've seen this. Anything else to add?
No. let's see, for switch skills, I feel like, what's that? It's the advancing slash, where it's like your weapon draw attack instead of being overhead slash for insect glaive. Like there's a little wind up and then you do like a helicopter attack on the ground. I really like that.
Let me look at switch skills. Leaping slash, right?
Yes.
L plus A. Weapon unsheathed. Oh yeah, that's the closing attack.
Yeah.
You close the distance.
Oh, that's really good. And it also replaces the, I think if you press direction on the analog, it also replaces the start to your heavy combo as well.
Interesting. Advancing rant slash. What's this? Oh damn, so it's like a longer version of leaping slash, basically.
Essentially, yes.
So way more commitment. I mean, pick your poison.
Right? Well, there's a little bit of hyper armor on it, but it's just super good at dealing like element status damage. It's a great gap closer. I feel like it's a very useful tool for the insect glaive.
Tornado slash. I mean, you can talk about the switch skills. I don't know anything about them.
I'm just talking about the ones that I use. I don't ever use Tetraseal slash, and like I don't use Recall Kinsect at all. I typically use Diving Wyvern because it's fun. And it does a lot of damage. That and with Insect Glaive, you're so mobile and you have so many mobility options. Like I've never needed to recall a Kinsect.
Okay. What's next on the menu?
Let's see. Do we want to talk about the bow guns, or is there another Blade Master weapon we haven't talked about yet?
I mean, I was thinking about doing the bowguns now.
Alright.
I think light bowgun is probably the most broken weapon in the game.
Oh,
besides
hands
the
down.
longsword. Maybe next to longsword, I guess.
Right.
It's close.
They're like
But
neck and neck.
Like with longsword, at least you have to get in the monster's face. With light bowgun, you don't even have to do that. You can just literally like zoom around the monster with that one switch skill.
Which is super crazy and fun, but it's also like, what the hell?
I feel like light bowgun is what heavy bowgun was in World. Like basically the same damage output, but faster.
You know what's funny is the thing is about World is that before World, light and heavy bowgun, there really wasn't a difference in damage. It was just the ammo types that were available. Like typically light bowgun, light bowgun's whole thing was it would get rapid fire. It would get rapid fire and it would have really good elemental damage. And then heavy bowgun's whole thing is that it would have larger clip sizes, but it would have fewer elemental options, but it would also have crag shots, which light bowgun didn't get, which is they call them sticky ammos now. But the damage output was essentially the same. The only difference were the elemental values and like the clip sizes. But then you jump over to World, they completely retooled the bowguns. Like light bowgun's whole thing was rapid fire, rapid fire elemental damage, or rapid fire like slicing or piercing or something like that. Whereas with like HBGs, like you get that same amount of damage output just by doing like a single pierce shot or a single spread shot or something like that. Like HBG like completely outclassed light bowgun for damage output. Like,
and you had the freaking zoom mod that basically, what was the multiplier, like 20% more damage?
Yeah, let me just slap this
for
special
having
scope onto my shotgun so my shotgun does more damage even though I'm right in the monster's face. Okay.
Just your gameplay looks like you have some eye condition.
Right? I never used that damn scope. I always preferred light bowgun to heavy bowgun.
Man, that gameplay was addicting because the monster would just die.
Right? No, I see people doing like spread HBG setups and like the guiding lands and stuff. I'm like, oh god, it's like cancer.
Yeah.
This is pure cancer. I can't look.
I mean, you could, like, the bow guns are the only weapons that you can, like, play with without sound on. Just shoot at the monster with sticky, and I don't know, do homework.
Right? No, you're
and you would
exactly
still
right.
Kill it.
Like what was it when I was doing like sticky like bowgun runs against Namil or whatever? Because I, you know, desperate for those crystals or whatever. I was just like, I put on like 3 different podcasts. I just kind of sit there, I like dodge every once in a while, and just cycle my Rocksteady and my Temporal Mantle. I'm like, okay, cool. 10 minutes later, it was dead.
Most of the time, you don't even have to dodge.
Well, here's the thing: you turn on the aim assist, you don't even have to aim then.
Or with heavy bowgun, you just go guard 5 and guard mods and just stand there and laugh in their face.
No, seriously.
Oh man, I don't know. It just, I mean, you could compare it to like if you could snipe enemies in Dark Souls. That's basically what it is.
Essentially, yes. Like, fun story, like, apparently you're supposed to use a bow to run through all of Dark Souls 2, because it makes the game so much easier. My first run through Dark Souls 2, I never used a bow once. I thought bows were dumb. I didn't use a bow until I got to that one Poison City DLC where you have to do, like, the bow puzzle. I was just like, oh, good, I found a bow and some arrows. I didn't even have this shit in my inventory.
I only ever used it to lure one enemy from the other. Like
I
if
think that's a good
there
use
were
for it.
two knights next to each other. I didn't want to fight them 2 at once, so I would just shoot one of them and they would come to me.
To be fair, that's perfectly good use for, like, a bow. Like, in
But I
Bloodborne,
would-
they throw you a bow and they give you, like, rocks, so you throw at enemies that, like, lure them towards you.
I mean, in Dark Souls you have throwing knives, I guess, but the range is
And they're also,
questionable.
they're also really hard to free aim.
Yeah. Like, you miss 5 before you hit.
Pretty much. Pretty much. It's definitely an art form, like, free aiming, like, the throwing pots and the knives and stuff. Like, I know that there are people out there that can do it, but it's just, like, directing their
Yeah.
character and they're positioning their camera or some bullshit. And it's like, how the fuck?
I can't do that.
It takes it's a skill that's entirely useless and takes way too long to master. But there are people out there that do it.
Yeah. Do we add anything to bowguns? Like, they're the same in every game, basically. Easy mode.
Yes, they're essentially the caster class. That being said, I do like light bowgun, but I think I prefer heavy bowgun in this game. I feel like heavy bowgun brings a lot more to the table than it does normally.
Yeah.
Mainly
You have
because
to actually
oh, go ahead.
dodge from time to time.
Oh right, you can hop, side hop now. That's so good for HBG. Like, oh my god, I lost my shit when I found out I could do that. I was like, I don't have to fucking roly-poly anymore. I could just hop. This is awesome.
The actual fat roll from Dark Souls.
Essentially, yes. I remember, what was it? I was hunting with a friend, and he was using HBG for the first time. We were hunting. I think we were doing like a Nier Gigante or something. He's like, look how far I could roll. I'm just like, okay, good luck, buddy.
Yet, if you put evade extender on the HPG, it goes far.
Oh yeah, no, it goes far.
Like, you could jump from Nergigante's head to his tail.
No, that's so true. But yeah, they do a lot of good things for mobility for HPG. Like, even its default wire bug skill is like, it moves you. Like, you get to move.
Yeah.
There's no invincibility or iframes or earplugs or anything on it, but like, just being able to zip your way out of danger is super useful. That and the
I don't
charge
think-
shots. Charge shots on HPG are addictive and fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they are a cool addition. But I guess, I don't think Capcom can ever balance these weapons right. These
Probably
bowguns.
not. Like, I guess in their mind, it's like the whole balancing thing is that like, well, you're spending ammunition to deal damage. Well, you can bring items to craft more ammunition, and you can also just head back to the tent and get all your ammunition back. So,
Yeah.
where exactly is the balance here?
And it's not like you're gonna run out of money, because you have basically infinite money in Rise.
No, it's super true. It's just like, well, the shots, they deviate, and you need, like, recoil suppression. I'm just like, yeah, but all those skills are 1 slots, and guess what we have plentiful amounts of in Rise? There's plenty of 1 slots. Like, at the end of the day, you only need 2 points of ammo up, because, like, I feel like there's only, like, a handful of heavy bowguns, actually, or light bowguns, too, that benefit from full 3 points of ammo up. And there's a huge amount of, like, especially if you're just playing, like, rapid normal, or if you're playing, like, sticky or something like that, like, you only need 1 point of ammo up, and that increases the clip size of, like, your stickies or your normals.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, and even then, like, a lot of, like, the good bowguns don't have deviation. Like, they won't left-right deviate, so you don't even need that in there. Like, at the end of the day, you just need, like, recoil suppression. That's it. I was a friend of mine was looking at, like, the ammo types, and he got super upset. He's like, oh, you can't, like, move and reload, or you can't move and shoot with, like, this ammunition type. I'm like, well, yeah, that's something they added in World. Like, before, like, in GU or 4 Ultimates, like, you would have to, like, shoot your bowgun and figure out which ones you can move and reload, or which ones you could, like, move and shoot with. So, that was in World. They're just like, everybody gets to do everything. Who cares? You know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really take away from anything. Like, I like being able to move and reload, but, like, being able to move and shoot doesn't really make a difference.
Yep, I would agree. I would talk about lance now,
Ooh, alright.
because I think it is a better balanced weapon than gun lance. Okay, let's go over the switch skills first.
Oh, please do.
The spiral freaking thrust. If you want to do damage with lance, you only use this move. You only need this one move. Spiral thrust. That's your gameplay. Basically, watch any speedrun. If the monster has a big juicy hitbox like Basil Geese, for example, all you do is spam this move. It's the one where you go in, like you jump past the monster and you come back.
Yeah,
Like-
I know that one.
Yeah. This move, like, it's even worse. Like, you're so reliable. You're relying on this move too much, even more than Haber on the impact crater, right? I feel like, if you want to do damage, of course. And it changed the lance gameplay a lot, I think, because most of the time in previous games you just like kind of turtle charge from time to time, but now you kind of jump around back and forth.
I do like that. Like, the guard dash, and also, like, the follow-up, what is it, like, guard bash, or you can go right into, like, the leaping thrust. I feel like that was a great addition. Especially in,
Yeah,
like,
leaping
World.
thrust, I like that move, yeah.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the mobility the options they added in World are just, like, exemplified in Rise, because you can side hop, and then you can dash, or then you can guard dash, and then hop, and the guard dash, and the leaping thrust. Or you can just, you know, act like a human ping pong ball and just, like, back and forth the monster's juicy hit zone.
Yep.
And I love they also gave us Rage Guard. Like, I feel like that was a hunting art they forgot about, but I really love they brought that back. I feel like the uptime on it could be longer, and maybe it should persist when you sheath your weapon.
Oh
Other
yeah,
than
that. Yeah, I would agree, definitely.
Because considering, like, doesn't it take 2 wire bugs to do it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it takes 2 wire
Or-
bugs, and it
or
only
no
lasts
reason.
for like 30 seconds, and it goes away if you sheath your weapon.
I
And
think
just
it's
like,
the worst like power of the switch skill to wire bug cost ratio. Like, why does it cost 2?
I think they're afraid of lances actually dealing damage. But that being said, that's also super weird, because the charge sweep deals crazy amounts of damage.
Capcom hates Lance, I'm telling you. Both of them.
I believe it.
Um,
You see what they did to Gunlance and GU?
I've only heard stories, but I heard it wasn't good. And it was
It's-
bugged too.
It's bad. Yeah. No, it's bad. Like, it's real bad.
As much as I dislike Spiral Thrust, I think Encore Rage is even worse. Like, same thing with Charge Blade and what is it called? Called Counter Peak Performance.
Yeah.
You get 1 million iframes. Like, why? Like, you don't have to time it. You just kinda awkwardly wait for the monster to attack you,
Pretty much.
or don't attack you and punish you.
Essentially, yes.
I do not like those moves
And not
one
to
bit.
mention, we already have like the counter guard and also like the full counter guard. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
It
have-
feels kind of unnecessary.
They added insta block, but I think it's too tight on the timing. It's really tight.
I haven't ever played around with it, but what's the damage output like?
I mean, if you land the insta block, you basically do a cross sweep, like
Yeah.
2 moves.
Yeah, that's
It
a
does
depth.
a lot.
That's a depth lance from GU.
Yeah, I think it's basically the same move.
Oh, exactly the same.
But to actually land insta block consistently, it is not easy. I don't know how many frames it is, but man, if you try it for yourself, you're gonna see. In an actual hunt, you're not gonna land it that often. And if you miss it, you're just standing there like a donkey. Wait, shield charge. I think shield charge, it could KO, right?
Yes, it's got very high KO value on it.
Yeah, and I can understand because you have a big ass shield that could actually knock out someone, right?
Oh yeah, no, I believe it.
The dash attack, ZR plus X and A. What's this one? ZR. Oh, that's the
Yeah, it's the lance
usual
charge.
charge.
Yeah,
Okay, never mind. Thought it was something else. So yeah, Lance is. I think they overdid it with the Spiral Thrust and the Encore Rage.
possibly.
Too spammable. Both of them too spammable, and it dumbed down the weapon because Lance is mostly about the defense and counters, but with Encore Rage, it kinda dumbs it down for me.
I can see that.
And I think that's all I have to say about this weapon. They didn't really change that much apart from Spiral Thrust addition.
What I like about it is that you can run it raw, but it also does really good with element as well. So I like that
Yeah,
they kept that
definitely
in.
better than Iceborne.
True. Yeah, and Iceborne was kind of hit and miss, depending. It really depended on the lance, like whether it would be better for raw or element. But in Rise, they've struck a nice little middle ground where raw is still somewhat better, but you still
Yeah.
have very viable options for element.
It isn't the Switch Axe level of viability, but I mean you can play it and see similar output of damage. Yeah, maybe now Gunlance.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. This
Oh,
gun
man.
lance.
Let me pull out my Gunlance. Oh man. Okay, let me just state first that Gunlance is, I think, or was for a time, the worst. It had the worst DPS in Rise. Even Lance can outdamage the Gunlance, which
It's always been
sounds
very tricky.
even sounds stupid. Like Gunlance is supposed to be the more offensive variation, right?
Oh, absolutely.
let's go over. What is it called? The ground splitter?
Yep.
Okay, so if anyone watches this and plays Gunlance, if you played World, basically what you have to do to achieve the same damage in Rise that you did in World, you have to apply this stupid buff called Ground Splitter that you can easily miss, and you have to apply this every 12 seconds.
But it's only lasts
And
for
it
12
costs-
seconds?
12 seconds, and it costs one wire bug.
The hell?
Gunlance in World was already like bottom 3 in the popularity chart,
Yep.
and they decided to nerf the damage basically, because all the other motion values are pretty much unchanged, I think, because you have to apply this stupid buff. Man, don't get me started on this. I talked about it too much. And the second option for the switch skill is Hail Cutter. It costs 2 for some reason, and it's basically you jump up. So basically with Greatsword you have that attack, with Switch Axe you have that attack. So it's very similar, but I have no idea what it costs too. It doesn't do any significant damage, and I think I remember from the startup of the animation it takes 4 seconds to move your character. Like if you start, you land or miss, and after 4 seconds you can move your character again. That has to be like one of the biggest commitments in the game. And it's nowhere like Greatsword damage. Nowhere near.
Yeah, I don't personally see like. Personally, I prefer Ground Splitter over Hail Cutter. 'Cause
I mean, if
I was
you-
using it in the challenge quest a while ago. I'm just like, how do I even use this damn thing? Because you throw yourself up so high, and you basically have to wait for yourself to come into the monster's range. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, but I want to start firing immediately, and we start firing immediately. You go higher and higher and higher, and you come up, and then you come back down, and you still miss. It's just like, what the hell? So then your gun lance is empty, and then you're just kind of sitting there on the floor with your gun lance in the ground, like, okay, I guess the monster hits me now.
I guess they added the blast dash, but I think it's just it looks cool. That's about it.
It's a pretty great mobility option, especially considering like
That's the only good
only
thing
use?
about it.
I mean,
But
but you can
my
use it to
problem
go
with-
straight into downward slash, which then can be followed up by full burst.
yeah, and that's what I'm gonna talk about, because after blast dash, I feel like you have so many options to choose from. It's too much. I didn't count, but it has to be like, I don't know, 10 or 15 variations. You can do 2 blast dashes in a row. You can do a blast dash into a hail cutter. You can, I don't know, do a what is it called? Downward thrust into what is it called where you shoot all your shells?
Full burst.
Yeah, that's like just the tip of the iceberg. I think the weapon is way too complicated. Its player has to do way too much to actually achieve like a mediocre, maybe mediocre damage. And that's my biggest gripe with this weapon. Way too complicated and just crap damage overall. I guess the quick reload and guard reload are good.
I do enjoy guard reload.
but that's about it. It's just terrible.
I really don't have a lot to say about Gunlance. Like, it's got a lot of really good things it can do, but yeah, the damage output isn't the best. Like, especially when it comes to if you're just focusing on shelling. Like, a lot of its
Yeah.
melee combos can outpace like its shelling damage.
Oh, and I completely forgot. You used to run in World at least. You could run focus on charge shelling, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything anymore. So charge shelling is pretty much useless now. No one uses it ever
No, it's a good thing we have Blast
Does it-
Dash.
because it's either blast dash or this. Yeah, and this weapon being at the bottom of speedruns says something.
Yeah, that really does. Like, even its counter, like, when it comes to, like, the freaking Lance counter, you get 10 years. Charge Blade counter, you get 10 years. With its, like, guard counter, it's like, what is this, like, 10 seconds, something like that? It's super short. It's not, like, maybe it's even, like, 8 or 9 seconds. Like, it's not that long. Like, it comes out super quick, which is nice, but, like, so do the Charge Blade and Lance counters. And, like, it gives you back, like, what, 10 units of sharpness? Like, I don't know. Like, if it's gonna be, like,
Yeah, I
that
think-
short and, like, that high a commitment, like, maybe give, like, more units of sharpness or extend the, like, the amount of, like, the counter window or something. Like, I don't know.
My summary of this weapon is, comparing to World, less damage, more complicated. That's it.
Yeah, they also added vertical worm stakes.
Oh yeah!
I don't feel like that was a necessary thing that weapon needed.
See how many options you have after doing the blast dash.
No, seriously, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've always enjoyed Gunlance's combinations, like upswing and the downswing and the side swing, then you go straight into
Oh,
worm
yeah.
stake. Or you can do upswing into side slash into shelling, or you can poke, shell, poke, or you can like poke, shell, poke, upswing, downswing, full burst. Like, there's a lot of fun things you can do with Gunlance, but like,
Or you
find
could
myself-
just not do full burst.
yeah, no, seriously. Well, I play wide, so there's no point. There's no point in me doing a full burst, unless I like
Yeah.
absolutely just want to do it, just because why not? But like, I find myself I use the melee options on Gunlance more than I use the actual shelling, just because it deals
Yeah.
that much more damage. Like, I'll run attack boost and weakness exploit, and I'll have like a few points in guard. I'll have like artillery and evade extender, and that's like my whole build, you know?
I'm gonna give you one fact about Gunlance.
Lay it on me.
If you use layered weapons on Gunlance, it actually the layered weapon you use actually changes your hitbox a little. So if you choose a short Gunlance, the hitbox is actually smaller. Can
Wait.
you believe that?
Wait, there's weapon sizing in World?
No, in Rise.
In Rise. Oh, so
Yeah.
you're talking about the Rampage gun lance.
No, I'm talking about overall.
But you can only layer Rampage weapons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But if you choose any weapon, like I don't know, but they will differ in their hitboxes. That's
Of
what I'm
course.
saying.
That's super
Isn't that
weird.
kind of strange?
Is there any other weapon type that
No.
like that's a thing? It's just gun lances.
No. Yes.
That's fucking bizarro. Like, what the
Why?
hell? No, seriously. Well, that's the thing. Like in Monster Hunter Frontier, like that crazy ass MMO, like they had weapon sizing in that game. Like, you know, it's like short. Like there was like ultra short, then there's medium, and then there's long, super long, and extra long. All right. And so the extra short weapons are downright unusable, and everybody wanted to use the extra long weapons, you know. But like the extra long weapons had crap stats, so it's just like, what was even the point to the size differential if you're gonna like make the short ones have really good stats but be fucking crap garbage, and then make the real long ones like have crap garbage stats but be really useful? Like, that's something that always boggled my mind. Like, Frontier did a lot of really fun and interesting things, but also had like a lot of really weird crap decisions.
Yeah, I think it might be the worst balanced weapon in Rise. I think. It might just be.
When it
In
comes
the
to
lower-
just pure
lower
damage
spectrum.
output, I would absolutely agree.
Yeah. But in the higher tiers, maybe longsword is even more.
Yeah,
more
well, when it
busted.
comes to mechanical difficulty, like Longsword's probably the worst defender because it's just so easy to use and how much damage you
Yeah,
can output
you
compared
can-
to Gunlance, where it's like it's got all these really fun, interesting things it can do, but you're not gonna get a whole lot of damage out of it.
You can't have easy and do a lot of damage. You cannot have that. Like it doesn't make sense.
No, and I
Like
absolutely
with,
agree.
I don't know, in World with Charge Blade it was complicated, but you could do a lot of damage, right? I just leave Gunlance because I'm heated.
No, absolutely. I absolutely understand. Like in World, it had a pretty good go. Like, other than the whole like artillery secret thing being like the max out to like your shelling damage, like it had a pretty good run. Like,
Yep, especially towards the end of Iceburn with
Oh, absolutely.
Fatalis. I think it was the weapon that benefited the most.
oh, hang on, come in.
You gotta
I
pick
will.
Barbara.
I will. I gotta fill up more of those things.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one more birthday.
All right.
Come on, boys.
Ole. Go on.
Come on.
Go. Okay, where were we?
Finishing the Gunlance.
Gunlance.
I'm done with this weapon. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I think I presented my points.
No,
pretty
they were
well.
very good points.
Okay, what's next? What's left? Okay, what's left? Longsword, hunting horn, charge blade, and bow.
You want to do bow next?
Yeah, I was thinking bow.
I've never used bow. Have you used bow?
Mm, not in this game.
You want to skip bow?
We can just talk in general.
Alright.
All I know is they added, like, you can heal. I think you can heal with bow now.
Oh, yeah, the arc shot. There's actually multiple different arc shots. Like, there's a
Mhm.
stamina boost, there's an attack boost, there's an affinity boost, there's element
and-
resist boost, and then, yeah, there's the healing one.
And I think you have different types of bows now, like 3 types.
Oh, that's actually, they brought that back from the older games, where it'd be a
Let me
shot level.
Quick Google search.
Oh, go for it. 'Cause, I think they did
You
shot
can
level,
continue.
where it's like each level of charge gives you a different kind of shot.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's in GU I use the Chameleos bow because it's rapid, pierce, and then the final shot is rapid 4.
Mhm.
So essentially, like my default like level 1, like no charge, it's a spread of 4 little balls, like because it's a spread shot. And so if I charged it to level 2, it'd be a higher level of that. Then at level 3, it becomes like a pierce shot. So it just, basically it just
Mhm.
pierces through the, like pierce ammunition. But at level
Okay.
4, I go for it.
Mhm.
What do you got in the Google search?
It divides into 3 types. You have spread shot type, or rapid shot type, and pierce shot type.
Ah, okay. So they've instead of giving bow every single shot, now it's got specific bows that deal specific shots.
Mhm.
Alright.
But I'm pretty sure for DPS you wanna use the spread. I think, from what I remember.
Red
'Cause
or
Pierce-
Pierce? Pierce
is
has that.
kinda
Well, Pierce has
situational.
that the kind of glitchy thing where You can fire off 2 pierce shots at the same time.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that bow was bugged for a good while.
It's actually not a bug. They've actually not patched it out. It's still a thing. People are saying it's intentional gameplay, and I'm just like, I don't know. It seems like a glitch.
Wait, it wasn't.
It wasn't patched out. Hasn't been patched out. Capcom hasn't even acknowledged it.
So, if I recall correctly, you basically do double damage
Yes.
with one shot, basically.
Yes. And it's not a glitch. It's intentional gameplay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It just works.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the bow, but I know I think it has around the same kill times as longsword.
I could see that. Bow is super powerful. Like, whenever I hunt with Yuki, he's a bow main. Oh my god, the damage that boy puts out. Like, it's like the difference between a hunt being 10 minutes, a hunt being like 2.5 minutes. Like, I shit you not.
Yep.
Like, before I'm even halfway to the monster, he'll be wailing on it and all the parts will be broken.
One wise man said, bow doesn't care, it just kills monsters. That's just about it.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
You can nerf it, it's still gonna be good. Even without this bug, I think the damage output is just ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
At least you have to stay somewhat close to the monster.
That's true.
At
It is a
least.
medium range weapon. It's not like light or heavy bowgun where you have to be up in the
And you
monster,
take-
like completely far away.
And you take more damage.
That is also true, and it doesn't have a shield like heavy bowgun gets, and it doesn't have that crazy ass like spin maneuver that the LBG
Yeah.
gets.
At least bow has that going for it. It's like high risk, high reward.
Oh, that is also an element weapon. So you have to be playing opposing
Oh, yeah.
element.
Yep. Okay. I don't have anything else to say.
I'm surprised I was able to say this much about bow.
Bow is just bow.
Oh,
That's
it's just bow.
about it.
It's strong, a little glitchy, got some variety. I don't know. The gunner
It's
weapon.
gonna remain at the top 3 for a long time.
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
Next games probably too.
More than likely. More than likely.
Okay, so we're left with the longsword, the hunting horn, and the charge blade. Oh boy, where do we even start?
You want to unwrap the hunting horn?
Okay. I absolutely hate what they did to this weapon. Just
Oh,
gonna
right.
say.
You actually played it in World. Yeah, lay it on me, man.
Yeah, I was one of the few that actually played hunting horn before Rise. Let me find a tweet. I actually,
Oh, alright.
because it was my tweet, and I just wanna read it. Because one hunting horn speedrunner just asked about. Wait, let me just find it, and I'm gonna read it. You can say your thoughts about the weapon in the meantime.
Alright. To be honest with you, I played a little bit of it in Rise. Like, I never really got into it in World. I had like 2 or 3 hunting horns that I played, and I didn't play them a whole lot. Mainly because like Switch Axe and Charge Blade were super good. But in Rise, there's a lot of things I do like about hunting horn. I like that you get to choose the note before you like your drawing attack isn't defaulted to whatever your triangle note is. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. That's a good addition. Yeah.
I feel like that was a pretty solid choice. Like, I really like not being like you either have to like manually unsheath your weapon or you just default to the triangle attack. But
Yeah, because you otherwise in World you had to like do a like instant stop and press triangle. If like it was basically like for one frame you stop and then the next frame you press triangle and you don't attack. You just pull out your weapon. But that was pretty tight on timing.
no, absolutely. It helps if you have manual sheath on. Like I notice if you have auto sheath on, like you pretty much only have a choice of attacking when you draw your weapon.
Mm-hmm. Can't seem to find the tweet. God
Ooh.
damn it. Where is this guy? I mean, I know the name. He's called Zook. Zook MH.
Oh, that guy sounds familiar.
I think he only plays Hunting Horror.
Ah. Alright.
Where the hell is it?
Typically, like my setups for Hunting Horn and Rise is like full Wirebug Whisper, and I just spam Earthshaker.
Yeah, that's what everyone does.
Yeah. Okay.
No one used the bead or whatever.
Oh, Beat of Resonance. That's
So-
actually really cool, but like, yeah, no, it's definitely too big brain
Compared
for me.
in comparison,
Yeah, no, in comparison to
Underwhelming.
Earthshaker, it's just like you just slap your Hunting Horn in the monster's head and you just play a chord, and boom, it dies. I think
Okay,
I
from-
prefer that.
from what I remember, I said it was. I think he was asking, like comparing between Rise and World Hunting Horn, and I said in World it had a pretty much perfect moveset, in my opinion. For every situation, you had a corresponding move. Basically, if the monster is to the left of you, you do the right swing. If the monster is to the right of you, you do the neutral recital. In front of you, you do the forward slam or what is it called? Super pound. Or you can be fancy and do the quick around. What is it called? Quick turnaround back slam.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's if the monster is behind you, you do the back slam. You have high reaching moves
That is true.
like forward slam, but the back slam is also high reaching. So basically, it was like a dance between you and the monster, like a turn-based game.
Right.
You wait for your opportunity, do the one move, you wait, you react, and you can buff. I'm gonna say the buffs took too long, that's for sure, but I wouldn't dump it down that much because it just happens in the background now. You
Yeah.
don't even have to pay attention to what you're doing.
You don't
just
like
press
craft
buttons.
songs anymore. Yeah, you just press like each button or each song corresponds to an attack button. You only need to like play what 2 of those notes, and then like
Yeah.
the song's out. You don't even have to do a recital anymore. It's just like what the hell, like and you
And it
can't
doesn't-
stack anymore.
It doesn't even matter if you do the, because you have 2 melody modes, the pure performance and echo, and it just basically works the same.
Really? What's
Yeah.
the echo mode like? I've never used it.
Echo mode is so in performance mode, the default one it is, I think.
Yeah.
So basically, if you chain 2 notes of the same color, it just plays the corresponding sound song by itself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In echo mode, if you have 2 of the same colored notes next to each other, you actually have recital, a different one, different animation than the performance, and you lose iframes, I think, but it's much faster,
Oh, okay.
and that's about it.
Oh, wait, that's it?
That's it.
Oh, well that sucks.
Yeah, basically the performance mode is the preferred one 90% of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
The echo is only ever used if a monster's head is high above ground. It has a higher reach because you can hit with it. Like, what was the spider monster called? Ragna Kadaki?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the one of the few that you actually use echo mode against. Very little difference. You can play with one or the other and not really feel the difference in damage or how long the hunt takes. Um. Okay, you have overhead smash, so super pound. I think it was called before. You know the move.
Oh yeah.
And melodic slap.
Slap.
I forgot about this move even exists. Wait, what's the input even? I do not remember anything. L, X, and A. Okay, that's pretty useless. So basically it takes like 2 seconds and it just does... It seems like it does KO damage. But it doesn't have any reach.
Oh.
So I haven't seen anyone use it anyway. So I think when it comes to options that you have with switch skills, Hunting Horn might have the most useless ones. Because everyone uses the same.
I
Over-
run all the default ones, so.
Overhead smash over melodic slap,
Mhm.
performance mode over echo mode, and earthshaker over beat of resonance. Everyone runs that pretty much.
Which is kind of diabolical, because some of those, or Beat of Resonance in particular, is a really cool idea, but like the way the Hunting Horn's designed, it's like it doesn't feel like it does anything useful. You could just play those songs anyway.
Some big brain mathematicians actually think that beat of resonance can do more damage, but it's so situational, it's not worth it at all.
Oh, alright, that explains it.
What was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, the moveset, the new moveset.
Oh right, they completely overhauled it, didn't they?
So all I'm gonna say is you just need to remember 2 buttons. You do forward plus A. Wait, what was it? Yeah, forward plus A. It's called crush, and ZR. And you loop it infinitely. Crush into perform. All 2 buttons. 2 buttons to win, to play the entire game. I hate how they dumbed down this weapon.
I feel like they could have they really could have gone any direction with it. Like, sure you can mess with like the move set and stuff like that, but like you completely overhaul a weapon that's, I mean, it's not even as complicated as something like freaking Gunlance or what have you, but like there's a complexity to it. But I don't know. Like, I feel like they could have kept the move set and they could have kept like the switch skills or whatever, but they should have kept like stacking the notes and performing. They should have just kept that the same. Maybe reduce the amount of notes you need for a song. I don't know. I'm not a game designer, but like when you remove the core of a weapon, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't feel. That's about all I gotta say about the Hunting Horn.
Yeah, I was gonna say I beat the entire game with 2 buttons.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, like because there was an update to they added the final fight, right?
Yes.
So I basically just wanted to get it over with and just spam 2 buttons for 10 minutes and I completed the quest. The weapon is even more brain dead than dual blades in world. Pretty sure.
I can agree.
The lack of elemental hunting horns. Even in the ICE mode in World, I've talked about this many times. You have the shockwave mechanic now. Like shockwaves do raw damage and they cannot crit, right?
Yes.
Like files, charge blade files, yeah? They do KO. So why not just divide hunting horns by the shockwave types, raw shockwave types and elemental ones? How hard would it be to implement something like this? And
Um,
it actually, I think in this ICE mode in World, it's like they listened to me. And
Really?
Capcom just doesn't.
I don't know what's going on with Capcom. Like, they do a lot of things right, but like they miss a beat every once in a while. Like, I don't know. I don't make games, so I don't know what the development process is, but I don't know. My overall opinion is they definitely did more right with Rise than they did wrong. But that being said, there's always room for improvement. There always is, you know. It's just the nature of it.
Oh, there is. It just sucks that two of my main weapons were
Got hit
I don't know
and
what to
hit
call it.
hard. Yeah.
annihilated.
Violated. That's absolutely fine. What did they do? Alright, we got anything else to say about the hunting horn?
Not really. I don't think. No.
Hopefully it gets to return to form in the next entry in the series.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
So
we're
what's up
left
next?
with Charge Blade and Longsword.
Flip a coin.
Two of my main weapons, like we've done Hunting Horn, and now Charge Blade. We can do Longsword.
Longsword. All right, let's do longsword.
Okay, you can start now.
All right, so it's crazy. It's oh my god, I don't even know where to start. Like, oh god. Well, let's start
2
with
minutes,
Serene
man.
Pose. Serene Pose doesn't need to exist. It's basically it's got a huge opening. If you have any meter at all, not even enough to like do a full spirit slash, you could go straight into /3 and then follow it up with a round slash, and you're in a bar of meter. It's got a huge opening. It makes the monster flinch, and then you're pretty much guaranteed an ender to your combo. It costs 2 wire bugs, and it's got a large cooldown, but still, it's got the freaking foresight slash. You've got the special sheath with the special sheath counter. Yeah, like you've got those 2 other counter options as well. Does it really need a 3rd counter option that also builds meter? Like, I don't understand it at all.
And I'm just gonna remind you that if you mistime your is it EI, AI, I don't know, EI Spirit Slash, the
Yes.
ZR,
Yes.
you do not lose your level, your Spirit Gauge anymore. You can spam it however many times you want.
It's ridiculous. At least tell me that Helm Splitter still makes you lose a level of gauge.
I think it does. Yeah.
Okay, and they did that right. But yeah, you still gain meter though, right? Your spirit meter or whatever starts regenerating after you do a Helm Splitter.
Helm Splitter. No. You
No.
mean the EI, the other one. The 2 slashes.
Double slash, yes. But
That
in world,
regenerate your.
well, in world after you do an EI, your spirit gauge starts autofilling.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Does that still happen in Rise?
Yeah. It autofills.
That's so dumb. Like I can understand it doing that in World because that was before the EI sheath, and you had that that really solid option of like just double slash and then you get a bunch of meter. But like the new drawing attack, it's got a crazy high motion value. It has earplugs and hyper armor, and it builds you like half your spirit gauge. Like if you land both hits, I'm like, that thing's ridiculous. And it's also a skip. You skip Spirit Blade 1, go straight to Spirit Blade 2 after it.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch any speedrun, all they do is they bait the monster for the counters, for the spirit slash.
Oh,
That's
absolutely. There's
just
no reason
this
not to.
one
It's just,
attack.
it's that efficient. It's crazy.
What was you could change. You have the spirit round slash combo, the usual one,
Yep.
the ZR.
Yep.
But now you have the spirit reckoning combo. which is slower,
Yeah.
but much more powerful.
It's also shorter.
Is it?
It is. Because it's slash slash, forward slash, and then overhead slash.
Yeah, it's 4 instead of 5,
Yeah.
I think.
And
But
you don't
it's
have
harder to land.
It is. It is. I still don't quite understand how that works. Like, I know it's the Valor combo from GU, but like, I always forget you have to let go of the analog stick, so I end up moving forwards and missing every single hit after that. Like, you got that little dash after the second slash that moves you forwards a whole lot. And then of course your final slash is the overhead slash, so of course you have to aim that one or you're gonna miss it.
I don't think like anyone uses the Silkbind Sakura slash.
I use that one.
The counter one, yeah. I mean, because everyone just uses the soaring kick.
I
The
don't
one
know.
where you
I don't-
jump up.
Yeah. No. I like that input, but like it's too I don't know. I like the freaking helm splitter where it's just like you do the input, you get the poke, you jump up, and then you come back down. I don't like having to press another button.
Yeah, I'm the same, exactly.
Silkbind Sakura Slash is kind of ridiculous though, because it does, what is it? Those 2 hits do nothing but mounting damage, and so you basically spam that twice. You get 2 bars of meter, and then the monster is rideable, and you just knock it into a bunch of walls. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
I feel like because there are a lot of longsword players. I think the most out of any weapon, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All they were asking for from World was to fix the weird hitboxes. That's
Yes.
all they were asking for. And they didn't even touch those hitboxes. They are still so buggy.
Really, does
But you
the
have so much damage now that you don't even care about it.
right? I was just like, well, you know, if your helm splitter misses all the time, just use Sakura Slash.
Like you miss.
That's not the issue here. Is that like, okay, thanks, Capcom.
Yeah, even if you keep missing, you're still gonna have a faster hunt than any other weapon, probably.
No, absolutely. It's ridiculous. Like freaking Serene Pose is just a get out of jail free card. Like, you don't even need to use your wire bug attacks for like longsword. You just spam Serene Pose and you've won the hunt. It just does that much damage. It's just that useful.
All I'm gonna say is, I think you can do sub 2-minute hunts with 4 longswords on Basil Geese,
I believe
and
it.
that just even not speedrunners.
Did you see that run that Team Darkside did against Mizu in the beta? For Rise?
Probably, yeah.
What was that? It was like a minute 25 or something like that. 4 longswords.
Yeah, in the beta it was even more jarring, the difference between damage output, because longsword was like a minute ahead.
So seriously, against everything. And I remember when that Magnum Olo dropped, and everybody's all like, "Oh, just play Hunting Horn to Longsword. It's easy." I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, you don't think that maybe there's something wrong with that, you know?
I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. You think the game is hard? Play longsword or hunting horn. Press 2 buttons.
Easy money. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah,
It pains me.
it's painful. Like, longsword is painful.
It's just the sheer existence of it just
Well.
boils my blood.
Let's not go that far. I mean,
The existence of this longsword.
it pains me. Yes, it's not.
I think it was fine in World,
It was perfectly fine in World. It was
apart from that
adequate.
wonky hitboxes.
Other than the wonky hip. I mean, shit, they nerfed it in they nerfed Longsword in World like a handful of times. Like, I remember Base World, you could do Foresight Slash without any sword meter.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of that. I
Yeah.
remember like Foresight Slash had a whole bunch of iframes. They reduced that. They reduced it again, and then they reduced it again in Iceborne. to incentivize people to use the EI counter instead.
Yeah.
So, like, they've nerfed it in the past. They've obviously recognized that they done fucked up, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna even bother fucking with it in Sunbreak, because I think they want people to play that, and, like...
Yeah, exactly.
But, like...
In their best interest, probably, to leave it alone.
maybe. But, I don't know. Maybe reduce, like... I don't know. Maybe make Serene Pose less good. Like, maybe make it just kind of okay, you know? Or...
Make spirit slash lose your spirit gauge if you mistime it.
that too.
And the timing is not that tight anymore, anyway.
It's not. Even like an idiot like me can, like, do it pretty consistently.
Like, if I landed it in World, on Diablos, like, if he burrows and he jumps out, you can actually time it when he jumps out.
Yes.
So I timed that twice in a row and I almost shut my pants.
Yeah, because that's actually, like, an achievement. Like, it's actually pretty
Yeah.
difficult to do.
Like on 30 FPS on console, it is hard, but now? Come on.
Yeah. No, it's a joke. The joke, and you go right back into Spirit Slash level 3 and then into Round Slash, and boom, you've got your meter. Like,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
just permanent level 3 spirit gauge, basically.
Yeah, no,
Just
between the
lose it
drawing
for-
double slash, the EI double slash, the Spirit Helmbreaker, Sakura slash, Serene Pose, like, there's too many options.
It's easy, you have answers for everything,
Yep.
like usually it is with longsword. Just does too much damage. That's it. Easy
think
and
It
a
came
lot
from
of damage.
such humble beginnings. Like, original longsword, it stopped at slash level 3. There was no round slash. Like, there was no building spirit meter or anything like that. You had fade slash, you had the return slash, and you had, like, your overhead combo, and that was it. Outside of your spirit blade combos, that was all longsword had. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, was it 3rd gen came around, they added meters and the round slash. Oh man, 4th gen came around, and then everyone was like, oh, what they do to longsword? Like, what do you mean what they do to longsword? They didn't do anything to it. You know, because it still had the round slash and it had bars of meters. Oh, they actually did something really cool for your longsword in 4th gen. That if you filled your spirit gauge, it would stay full for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and then you just draw on the spirit slash combo, and then that was like longsword's whole gameplay loop.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then Valor Longsword was a thing at GU, and I was like,
Much more interesting than this crap.
I would say it was just as bad. Like, it's pretty cancerous. Just like Valor dominates
the-
every weapon style combo in GU for
I
the
mean,
most
the
part.
idea. This is the idea, not the execution.
True. No, you're right. But like, Valor Longsword, it has a guard point that you can then go into like your short Spirit Blade combo. You only have to build 1 bar of meter. Actually, you don't even have to build meter. You have to be in Valor mode. And like, the only thing
Yeah,
you have to
'cause
worry
you have
about is
only-
building Spirit Gauge. Because your
Yeah,
sword
the
will
only-
just be blue.
Yeah, you have only one mode, like the blue mode, right?
Yep. And, well, one saving grace is that it deals significantly less damage than level red. Because I feel like blue was somewhere between, like, white and yellow. It wasn't quite a red, but it definitely wasn't, like, a yellow or a white either.
But still, everyone played it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I remember when, like, GU first hit the Switch, I was like, ah, sweet, I'll get to hunt with some people, all Valor Longsword. I'm just like, oh, God. And it was like that for months. And now I hop in a GU lobby, and I've got, like, somebody playing aerial dual blade, somebody's got a dipped hunting horn, another guy's got, like, alchemy hammer. I'm just like, alright, let's go.
Maybe not about balance, but you know, when you're hunting with people, you have those little weapon icons on the left, right?
Yes.
And portable Monster Hunter games,
Yeah.
the longsword icon always looks like a fishing pole for some reason.
It does, doesn't it?
Why?
But they've gone back and forth with the icons for a while. Like,
Like the world one is just great.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, the world ones are the best ones. In GU they use the 3rd gen icons for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but they do. Because the switch axe icon is it's just an axe. Like you can't see like the world icon. It's got like it kind of incorporates the whole like it looks like it's something that morphs into something else, but it's very obviously an axe. But yeah, no, in GU it's just an axe. There's not much to it.
Okay, so that's it about longsword, I think.
I think so.
Easy and a lot of damage.
Easy and safe and no brain thinky.
Yeah, no weaknesses. Like literally no weaknesses. Every other weapon has some weakness.
It's true. No, it's so true. All right.
Oh, maybe not light bowgun.
Well,
I mean, you take much more damage, but do you even get hit?
if you get greedy.
Maybe. Okay, so we're left with the mighty, not so mighty, charge blade. Look how they massacred my boy.
Oh God. He was so young. He came all the way from 4th gen over here to the 5th gen.
One
Look
of
at him.
the newer weapons.
It is.
I hate that they can't seem to find the balance with this weapon. Like in 4U it was OP.
Yep.
In Geo it was dog shit. In World it was like pretty good.
It was a
the
return
most-
to form. It felt really
The
nice
most
in World.
fluid,
Absolutely.
it has ever been, and now it's Geo all over again. Maybe worse. Like, can't you find like a middle ground or something? So the problems with this weapon. I mean, we can start with the obvious ones.
Oh yeah.
The files,
Oh boy.
the hitboxes. If the monsters, like, if their head, you're aiming for the head, for example, if it's even off the ground like 2 meters, you're not gonna hit anything. If the monster's belly is, right, what would be a good, oh, a great example is Anjanaf. So he has long legs and his body is high above ground, right?
Oh yeah.
So basically, you're gonna hit 2 out of 5, maybe,
If you're lucky.
because for each leg, I mean, they changed the pattern of the SAD. It doesn't land in a circle anymore. It lands in a line almost.
It's
Looks
actually
like
something
line.
they changed in World. In World, it's got like
Yeah.
less of a line. It's more of like a, I don't know. It's kind of like an explosion, but it does travel a little bit.
So
but,
they basically completely reverted.
pretty
the
much, yeah.
pattern
In
from
4 Ultimate,
World.
they traveled in a straight line essentially.
But the elemental one seems to like random, just a random. It's not even a circle, just random. It feels like,
a it's like a triangle or like a wave or something.
and it can hit all over the monster. Like, I don't know, the tail, the head. It's all over the place.
Which
So-
is bad because typically the good elemental hit zones are like just like one particular part of the monster.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the weapon is probably the most inconsistent weapon out of all 14. I don't think there's even debate. Like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you won't get any contention
Hands
from me
down.
on that.
You get that stupid, what is it called? Counter pick performance. Easy mode block basically. If you get hit during the animation, you get all the files.
Yep. Then you can
So
go
basically,
like, you can do an AED or an SAED, or you can charge your shield, or you can charge your
Yep.
sword, or you can go into freaking act mode.
act mode.
Really?
Yep. So every fight starts the same. You wait
Pretty
for the
much.
roar.
Yep.
You do the
CTP, load your
CPP.
files, fucking.
And you
spin
choose
slash.
what to do.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And yeah, that's. Oh, and or you can choose Axe Hopper over it.
Now, Axe Hopper's
Um,
interesting because you can SAED, or you can AED, or you can do an axe attack, or you can transform back. So there's quite a
I-
few options available to you, but one thing I do notice is that the SAED off of Axe Hopper is it's a lot more consistent than just
It
the
is.
regular ground one. It's disturbing.
And the AED too. Like you can aim for a specific part. Like it seems easier to aim for the head, for example, midair.
Oh yeah.
But the main problem with Axe Hopper is the commitment. Takes so long, and I mean, you can jump over some attacks, but the monster has so much time to punish you.
No, that's super true.
The one good thing is, if you start up the animation of the SAD or AED, you don't lose your file if you get hit mid animation anymore. I guess that's a good addition, good change.
Yeah, I do like that.
Because in the world you would just lose everything.
Yeah, no, seriously. I remember fucking in base game, it'd be like you go 0 to 60 after you if you guard point, you get knocked down. You can do the AED or SAED input, and you go like 0 to 60, like your hunter would just leap off the ground and you slam the axe down and go to a discharge. That was nuts. That was also a glitch. So. And then Iceborne rolls around, just like get smacked once, like okay, there's all your files gone.
I dislike that you don't really have to use the what is it called? Like the perfect guard. What is it called?
Oh, the what is it? It's countermorph slash.
No. I mean like.
Oh, the guard point.
Yeah, guard point. You don't really have to use it anymore.
Essentially,
That's
yeah.
the sad thing. You still wanna use it for SAD builds, but because you can if you iframe. Wait, I forgot again. What is it called?
The guard.
Guard point.
Yeah.
If you time it correctly, you get a damage buff to your SAD, but you're not gonna hit your SAD anyway, so yeah. I don't like that you have to choose between the
Yes.
sword mode and the axe mode. I mean the savage axe and the
Oh, the sword charge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you use the charge sword anyway?
I don't know. I kind of like charge
mean-
sword. Like before Savage Axe was a thing, I remember charging my sword all the time.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But the only thing it really does is leave, like, I don't know what to call it, like little,
The little file explosions.
yeah, that
Like when you
can
bash
KO.
with your shield. Yeah.
That's it.
Also, wow, it also gives you Mind's Eye and reduces your hit lag on your sword attacks.
And I think it does multiple hits with one swing if the files discharge.
Yeah.
But all the damage is in the axe mode anyway,
Super true.
and the axe mode just sucks. I like the look of it, but you cannot switch from it to sword and shield mode because you're gonna lose it. You're basically losing all the fluidity from world for what?
Pizza cutter.
Yeah, basically. And I think it's the least mobile weapon, I think, if you wanna do damage, of course. Because
Yes.
Greatsword has great mobility now, and it can do much more damage.
Well,
But
you gotta
if you wanna
remember,
play...
Charge Blade's default wirebug skill is the dash forwards.
Yeah, you have that one, and that's it, yeah?
Yeah, but to be fair,
But
that's all
you're-
you need. Costs 1 wire bug. It's got a short cooldown. You can transform back into sword and shield, or you can do an axe attack, or just hang out, do whatever.
I mean, I guess. But I hate that you just walk with this axe out like a moron, just
Right.
waiting to go get hit. Or if, let's assume that you're fighting against Teostra. It has a lot of like multiple hits in a row, like
Oh, yeah.
little explosions
Yep.
here and there. You're stuck in this axe mode. You can't really use CPP because it only blocks once.
Yep.
If you decide to guard point, you lose your axe. You can't really iframe everything because you can't fit a evade window in your builds. It's just janky. Like, it screams janky in this axe mode. Everything about this mode.
I feel like just charge blade general. Like when I first started using it in Rise, it felt really weird. Like it felt a little bit better after that first patch, after they tweaked some of like the input settings for charge blade, but I don't know, it still feels really weird. I still find myself like doing the Savage Axe over like the SAD spam for sure, because I can't get any of those files to hit.
Another thing is you can, even if you have 0 files and you have the Savage Axe active, you can still use the like up and down, and you can hold, if you hold down the button,
Yep.
you do more damage, right? And it
Yes.
still works without any files
Yeah.
for some reason.
Oh yeah, and it gains you files too instead of losing them.
Yeah, if you land hits, yeah. One more thing I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Maybe you can add something.
Well, I feel like what they did with Switch Axe is they reinforced like a lot of its defensive options, but they also like they de-incentivized SAED over like a freaking switch skill, which is just like Savage Axe, which the input could have just been given to us anyway, like as a part of the weapon rather than it being a switch skill. Although to be fair, like in terms of mobility, it's got the sliding slash, and it's also got that wire bug dash, which is also like could be used for like morphing or attacking. So
Yeah, but you can't use it from the axe mode where all the damage lies.
oh, you can.
The sliding one?
No, the wire bug dash.
Oh, that yeah, but the
Yeah.
sliding slash, no.
No. Sliding slash for like repositioning when you're in Sword and Shield mode.
And you have to be very wary of your inputs, because if you use that, what even is it called? Wait, no. I mean the one where you slide away. You said that a bunch of times.
What is sliding slash?
No. The other mobility-oriented move.
I think it's called like morph dash or something like that.
Probably. You have to be very wary of your input, because only one input. If let's assume you're into a Savage Axe, yeah,
Yep.
and you do this sliding move or whatever. If you press ZR,
Yep.
you go into shield. If you press A, I think
Yep.
you also morph. I
Yep.
think you have to press X to stay in your
I
axe
think
mode.
it's A, and it gives you like
One or
immediate
the other.
discharge too.
It's kinda weird.
That is something I don't like about it. Like, maybe I want to just do like a normal axe attack. I don't want to have to like morph back to sword shield or have discharge 2 be like the default attack. Cause Well, if you're in Savage Axe, like, that's already gonna be a huge commitment. But, like, Element Discharge 2 is, like, probably one of the higher commitment moves when it comes to just, like, putting out file damage in general. So it's like double or nothing.
In general, I think Charge Blade is the weapon with the most commitment, even over Greatsword.
Oh,
Because-
absolutely.
You lose that Savage Axe, you're gonna take like, I don't know, 20-30 seconds, if the monster cooperates, of course, to get it back.
At the very least, yes.
And one thing I hate about it too is if you have like, what would I call it? If you want to charge your files, you either have like the white ones, the yellow ones, or red ones, right?
Yep.
Yellow charges 3, I think, and red charges 5.
Yep.
But if you have the white ones only and you wanna activate your Savage Axe, it takes so much longer. Do you remember the difference?
I
just
do.
kinda,
It's like click
just
clink,
kinda
and you gotta wait for
stuck,
like
stuck in
fucking-
there, and he waits.
Yep.
It's terrible, man. Yeah, way too complicated for its own sake. Very janky, not fluid at all. The damage output is, I guess you can call it above average, but you have to know what you're doing. If you lose that Savage Axe even once, you're gonna fall behind other weapons.
No, absolutely. Then it's like if you're running the SAD strategy on top of, or over running the Savage Axe setup, then like your consistency is kind of everything at that point, considering just how hard it is to hit those files.
Yeah. Like it only works on certain monsters like Chameleos. It's a good one because it's like glued to the ground. You're gonna hit each file probably.
I can see
Because
that.
his body is so long too.
You get that big old tail.
But yeah, everything about this weapon sucks.
Well,
Plain and simple.
I just hope, like, to be fair, last time the portable team had their hands on the Charge Blade, they made GU Charge Blade, so I'm just fucking thankful they didn't fuck with the I'm just glad it's at least somewhat usable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhat.
I'm just glad it's
Yeah,
at least
if
somewhat usable.
If I wanna use it in multiplayer, I don't even bother with Savage Axe.
Yeah. Yeah, just basically just AED spam at that point.
Yeah,
Or run
SAD.
X-Hopper.
Yeah, that's like for fun, just for fun.
Oh, pretty much.
Because
Yeah.
with Savage Axe, there is no fun.
It's
There's
just work.
pain, there's pain and despair. Yeah.
Is that all the weapons now? Do we do it?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
hell yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and just wrap it up here. Do you wanna plug anything, Lazy?
No.
No? You don't wanna plug your Twitch or
Nah.
your Twitter or your fucking
I don't stream
OnlyFans?
enough. You wish. I don't stream enough to plug anything.
That's fair. I'll just leave a link to your Twitch in my freaking description.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna say one more thing in general about the weapon balance, if I can.
Oh, go right ahead.
I don't like that maybe not every weapon, but most of them can KO. Let's count weapons that cannot. Dual blades, I'm not counting punishing draw or
I was
anything
about
like
to
that.
say.
Dual blades, longsword, switch axe can KO, lance can KO.
Lance can KO, Switch Axe can KO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Insect glaive? I think you
Insect
can
glaive
KO
can.
with the insect.
Yep.
Bow can. Yeah, so basically it's dual blades and longsword.
Dual blades
so-
and longsword, yeah.
Only two weapons cannot, like, with a standard build, cannot KO. Doesn't feel kinda off.
That does
Like, you
feel
don't
really
have to
odd.
really
Like, if you
work
wanted KOs,
KOs.
like, you run hammer, of course, or you run hunting horn, and then of course there's the charge blade, or there's the impact charge blade, and that was kind of it. Those were your options. Like, outside of like a handful of insect glaives in back in the day, like there were some insect glaives that did exclusively KO damage, but those were very few and far between.
I mean, it started in World, honestly, with Sticky being much better than Hammer.
Oh, you're right. You know what's even worse than sticky spam? Look in the end
what?
game Monster Hunter World, it was cluster bomb spam. I just wanted
Oh
to play
my.
online with people, hunt some tempered elder dragons, and you know what happened? I end up in a party of 3 light bow or heavy bow guns, and I'll just sit back in the rocksteady mantle, firing away at the monster, and I have my greatsword. And I just sit there like, ah, jeez. I think I could actually be playing
people-
this game right now.
People still use it to this day.
I hate it. I hate
in
cluster
multiplayer.
bombs so much. They're the worst thing. They are the worst thing. I hate them so much.
Like, I've seen them before nerf, and oh man. It was some good damage, but if you were playing with randoms, not fun at all.
No, sir. Alright, that being said, let's wrap it up. Roll the outro. You got anything you want to say to your adoring public, Lazy?
Not really, but stay safe, I guess.
Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't lick doorknobs. Alright. And on that note, back to the studio.